Good evening, one and all. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for stopping by tonight. Lovely to have so many people here tonight. Who have we got in tonight? We've got Crozak, Hickey Chick, Det, Silent Mouse, Apophis, the dude everyone likes, Pagors, Dutchman, Traditioner, Harry Gamer, and Mushy's in. Good evening to you. Doc Otter, Wave, Andalieth, Jackson. And there we go, Apophis, Marsberg, good evening to you, and Sit8, good evening to you, and Snacksy Ramos, Real Ginny's in, what's this, Sam? Artificially boosting my numbers. And Commander Barton, good evening to you, and Lizelle, and Basic, and PPM, Haku, and Mr. Rocket, I think I've run through everyone there, and Stopcraft, good evening, everyone. Just came on, or in time for your evening porridge. Oh, fantastic. Hide Silent Mouse's spot is here too. Mr. Rocket, good evening to you as well. Did I miss you there? Managed to pick up 93 force multiplier enchants for 150 apiece. Considering they go for 500, thought it was a good investment. They are quite good if you can shift them quickly enough. They are relatively cheap to make, usually, the force multipliers, so I tend to find their prices do drop a fair amount, but hopefully you'll be able to shift them at a decent price, depending on your server. But good evening, one and all. We even have the Wowhead blog is already live, so we can talk about that straight away. Let me just pop the command in. That should be the latest one already. Let me just click that through. And yes, number 124 weekly wrap-up is already live, so welcome one and all from the Wowhead blog, those that have come through. Hades Bane, good evening to you. Cook Meat, PvP, everyone doing very well. Same server as me, managed to get a Chord Mastery and a Chord Haste ring enchant reset for a 1k apiece. Oh, very nice, Harry Gamer. Someone had already done the crit one. It's nice when other people reset the enchant markets. I know myself have benefited from that as well. First time here, already amazed by that mount. Where can I obtain it? This one comes from the collectors, the big collector that came with, ooh, I don't knock everything over, the 15th anniversary edition that came with the Ragnaros statue that I'm artfully holding with a twisted hand. But it's also available on the store as well, I believe. But my mount collection is incredibly small. I've only got less than 50 mounts, I think. Let me just check. What am I on at the moment? Considering I've been playing since vanilla, I am on to, not pets, mounts. There we go. Up to total mounts 46 according to this. So that's not bad going really for someone who doesn't really collect mounts. But I've got a few key ones in here, which is already nice. Obviously the Brutosaur being one of those. Sky Golem and the Sandstone Drake. A lot of these have been very kind gifts from viewers as well, so I'm doubly blessed. But yeah, my mount collection is paltry by many people's standards, that's for sure. Hope Mrs. Samadan had a wonderful Mother's Day. We actually, in the UK, Mother's Day was actually in March, so we've already had it. But thank you, Hickey Chick, nonetheless. And a happy Mother's Day to all those in the US who are celebrating at the moment. Is it €25 at the moment? Okay. Mount collection domination. Yeah, something like that. Been enjoying video games with friends, but now it's comfy time. Excellent. Dude, everyone likes that's really nice to hear. You UK people doing everything wrong. Yes, there's supposed to be some sort of announcement or something. I think I've probably just missed it, so I've got no idea what my country's doing, so I apologise in advance to my country. We seem to be messing everything up. What else have we got? Some guildies gave you a donation of about 220k. Oh, very nice. That's very kind of them. So Mother's can have one and then head over to US and get another one. Yep. I don't know if he's got a catchphrase, but I don't tend to pay too much attention to it, certainly. What else did I miss? Great day today in sales, more than 110k. Can't remember when you last had a good day in last week's. Oh, that's fantastic. Force multiplier still costs you 380 to make. Oh, right, okay, Mushy. So, yeah, so at 150, that was a good price, wasn't it? I don't know what my actual ones. Do I have any in-game toys then? Now that my mount collection is, well, in-game toys. Now that is, if I go to collections, that's the toy box, isn't it? I have more toys than I have mounts. I have 51 toys. I've got no idea how I got those. The main thing that is of most importance is the chef's hat, because that gives me an incredibly fast cooking speed. And then other than that, do I use any of these? Oh, these ones, the walking Kalimdor with the Earth Mother, and the modernised provisioning of Azeroth for the flight paths. That's also incredibly important. And then that one, surviving Kalimdor, I think that one. Those are the main ones. How do I get the hat? The hat is done from doing the cooking dailies in your main home city like Stormwind, and then in Dalaran in Wrath of the Lich King, and going through and getting Epicurean's awards. You can get up to about 3 per day. 3 in total, 1 at your home city and 1 on Dalaran, or vice versa. And you'll need 100 Epicurean rewards to be able to buy it. And it's really, really useful. I mean, Samadan has been wearing his hat pretty much non-stop since I picked it up about a year or 2 ago. There we go. Commander Bond's got the emote already in there. Softy Streams, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. What else did I miss there? If you do the fishing daily in Dalaran, you have a chance to get +5 awards per day. Oh, that's a nice little extra boost. I didn't realise that one. You also, if you do Wrath of the Lich King time walking, I don't know when the next one is. We've got time walking here, which is Warlords or Draenor. It's Pandaria time walking at the moment. So time walking here. That's Burning Crusade, so the next one will probably be a while away actually. Time walking, that's all the Draenor. I've already scrolled past that one. I probably missed it at some point. But yeah, it's a little ways away. Certainly, there we go, there's one that's November. Surely there's going to be one before then. Let me have a quick look. Maybe not. There's August. Oh, there we go. July. That's the next earliest one. Time walking in Wrath of the Lich King. That can give you also some Epicurean's awards that way. You can buy spice bags, get the awards as well. Yes, that's the one. I read my latest comment and you won't regret it. Is that on here or is that on the... I got the most insane mount luck today and have no feeling in your bones after it. So you got it today. Heavenly Onyx, Cloudstone, Ashes, Black Pearl, Blue Protoday and Clutch of Harley. Well, congratulations. That's an absolute load. PvP boss, congratulations on that lot. Oh, and Sensors coming in with the raid. How are you, Sensors? How was your stream? Welcome everybody from Sensors stream. I hope you're doing well. And John coming in with a sub of 15 months. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for your support. Good evening everyone who's come in from Sensors, and thank you especially John. And PvP Boss for the follow as well. That's incredibly kind of you. Cow King, good day to you. Hope you're doing well. Darkwing, good evening to you. Coco Riga, and who else have we got? So I hope all went well. How's your professions going, Sensors? I know you said you pretty much weren't doing the whole Silas thing now. So what are you focusing on at the moment? Detlev Boy, good evening to you. Just got pushed here against my will. What is going on? Any gold making tips? There will be plenty. We are going to go through the Wowhead blog in a moment. The command for that is Wowhead. It literally has gone live about 15 minutes ago. Wowhead, there we go. Wowhead, there we go. That's the link to it. Oh, dude, everyone likes gifting a tier 1 sub to Drizzling Rose. That's very kind of you. Can I check? What did I miss there, Mushy? Stream was good. A bit of crafting, then leveling 4-box DKs. Oh, that sounds interesting. How did you get on with those? Check deep sea bags. Okay, let me just have a look at that whilst I'm here. It's probably a bit precarious to bring up my Brutosaur up here, but we might as well balance off. Deep sea bags. Quick check here. And we've got 864, and then 5,500 on those. My crafting cost, though, on the deep sea bags is 950, because deep sea satin on my server is always very, very, very expensive. I've never seen it much cheaper than that. So for me, that's definitely not a profit to be making those at the moment. And Mother Beans coming in with your sub, thank you very much. And you've kicked off a hype train as well. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you, doubly so. Thank you everyone for your support. Let's see a whole lot of emotes for you. The average buy of deep sea satin, we'll have a look at that. We'll get to the Wowhead blog in a moment. I'm just going to go through this satin / exact should do there. Deep sea satin. I don't think that's too many C's. ICC. Deep sea satin is currently at 25 gold. My mat cost is telling me 35 gold, which is based off my average buy price. So I would probably actually need to change that to the default crafting method. So if I was to go in here and go into my crafting reports, materials, under deep sea satin, under here, it's just set to average buy. So if I close this and copy one from somewhere else, like this one could be minimum between average buy, crafting and DB market. So DB market will be the one I want to look at there. So obviously crafting's not really needed here. So probably average buy between that and that. I'll take that off and that off and just have the two in there. So allow for DB market. If I do another search for this from 35, it will now change to 30, which is what my DB market is. I wouldn't use min buyout because it's too varied. Swapping back to that, I know I've just missed a whole load of stuff there. Oh, Dutchman, thank you very much for the cheer. That's very kind of you. If I come back here to my deep sea bags, we'll have a quick look here. Just going to follow, no, that's the wrong one. Deep sea bags, and have a look at our crafting cost now is 828 if we were to buy them at market price, giving me a 36 gold profit. So there we go, that makes a bit more sense. Delirium, thank you very much for using a tier 1 sub for 7 months. That's amazing. Thank you so much for your support. I'll quickly scroll up because I missed a whole load of chat whilst I was doing a brain dump there. Yeah, but not worth it, definitely. It's too close for me to consider it, certainly. What did I miss? I'm going to have to scroll up quite a bit there. What do we have? Never made a glyph in your 730 days. Played a World of Warcraft, so you can't advise on that. Yeah, glyphs I would like to get into, definitely. Just thinking a lot more on other professions, but TSM scupped your flask operations, so your flasks were profitable but not showing as such. Oh right, Sensors, that's unfortunate. Hopefully you managed to find a fix around it. Let's go just scroll through here a little bit more. TSM just had a update. Did it really? Okay, I'll have to check on that, see if I have to do anything during the stream. Hagnus Game, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to scroll down the chat, see if I can miss anything. Quick, easy way to get a lot of gold, but don't know how to do it. A lot of people saying that herbs is the way to go, but for me, you have a problem to download add-ons because you're kind of afraid something will go wrong. That's fair enough. Herbs do tend to be a popular option for many, and as such, the price is going downhill quite rapidly on those. So there's always options. We'll have a look at the Wowhead blog in a moment, and there's some good tips there as well. You bought 8 Swift Spring Striders. For about 14 to 18, now they're around 40k. Did a nice flip with kebabs, got around 50k profit, a couple of hours, felt really good. Very nice skate, wow, very nice indeed. Accidentally posted a Dark Moon Mog item worth 30,000 for the default 4 goals, 70 out. Sniped it before you realise they're not responding to in-game emails. Oh, sorry to hear that, Drizzling Rose. That does happen from time to time. We've all been there and made those kind of mistakes. Hopefully they'll read their mail at some point and be able to return the gold to you, hopefully, if they are so inclined. Obviously, it's all sales are final, so good luck in getting your gold back, certainly. Old Farming runs 100k in about 2 days. Realise how much opportunity you've missed. Now just shy of 2 million. Very nice calking, very nice indeed. Done something similar with the Sky Golem before. Yeah, we've definitely all done that. I've sold rich purple silk shirts for 8 gold when they were going for 5,000 gold. It's been there and definitely done that. You have a sell price of 800, but you see satin price of 16 gold. Okay, so that's a little bit more per stream in the morning, and I think you were talking about how you hate posting transmogs, so it's good. How do I manage to get items to destroy for enchants rule match when I don't do Mythic Plus or raids? I've been making pearls, world quests. I was limited in quantity, and I don't find craft gear that much worth. What do I think? I basically, in terms of the enchanting materials, I do the bracer shuffle, which is basically taking the tide spray bracers, scrapping the greens, disenchanting the blues, and then using the expulsum from the scrap greens to make other bracers, or to make the honourable combatant scepter, and it all depends on my materials I've got, and then disenchanting that for veiled crystals. Wow, there's loads of stuff on the chat I've missed there. Let me keep on going through, and I'll eventually get up there. Crafting bracelets, there we go, all leatherworking. Currently 9 canopic jars deep in your farm for Vial of the Sands. Good luck, Stopcraft, I hope you get it soon. Can you get veiled crystals from bracers? If you have the Uin's enchanting rod, the tools of the trade, from the blue bracers, you can get veiled crystals from them, certainly. Happy it was just a Mog item though, absolutely. And then thank you very much for the hype train, that's really kind of you. That's just coming through, level 1 completed. Thank you all, very, very kind of you. Open 8 jars and nothing but guts. It takes a while, certainly. I hear, I've never done it myself though, of course. It's a lot of steps to remember. If you have a look at, yes, I have a video on it. There we go, Metcat's got you. The shuffle spreadsheet there goes through all the details, and there's on the spreadsheet there's a link to the YouTube videos that accompany that one, and then hopefully that will explain the whole process. And then if you do have any questions, please do ask me, and I'll try and answer as best as I can. Right, I ought to probably get down from this roof just in case anyone wants to use the auction house. Oh, that was a dainty balance, if ever I saw one. I better turn this way so people can get access to the auction house, otherwise it's a bit precarious. Whilst that's going on, let's move over to the Wowhead blog, which is now live. So if I drag this one over to the screen, we can have a look here. And if I just minimise this down, then we can go through the goings on in the gold making community. So if we just open this up, add Wowhead. So there's the link to the Wowhead blog, number 124. I love how you're all generous with tips and methods. Make me, I love crafting each day even more. That's what I love about the gold making community in general. Everyone is so supportive, and I really, really like it. As far as communities goes, I have never seen anything as supportive. So I'm happy to share, certainly. All your favourites have been wiped. Oh no, McBainey. Is it worth trying to go back into your TSM app and restoring a backup from previous? Maybe that will fix it. Or is this down to the TSM update that people were talking about? I haven't seen it yet. But have a look. They've all been wiped from the default. Oh, okay. Yeah, just try, as Metcat says, maybe try logging off and on again. Try turning it on and off again. That's usually the first option. And then you could always try and restore from a backup and see what happens from there. Plan on making only that in Shadowlands. Been raiding and mythic plussing for a long time, and people just make you restore your faith in WoW players. Yeah, you couldn't find a nicer bunch of players, definitely. So let's have a look at the stuff we're going to talk about in the Wowhead blog tonight. So we've got a tentative release date for Shadowlands being Q4 2020. So there's a little bit to talk about there. And then there's some really interesting posts about getting gold in various methods from Reddit. So I'll go through those, and also some nice non-BFA gold making methods, which is particularly useful for those that are just starting out in the game and don't have the latest expansion. Another Bruto Excel sheet I've updated. We'll talk about this. So we have already the So the release date, they said, is going to be Q4 2020. So that's going to be either October, November, or December this year. In that order. What was that for? Default auction house favourites aren't stored in TSM backwards. Oh, sorry, the default auction house. Ah, right. The default is a Blizzard bug. Ah, right. Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, that's not. I always thought you meant the TSM favourites when I first thought about it. Finding nice and healthy guilds for a Mythic Plus getting harder and harder over the years. Getting 9 fails in a row is like 34% possibility. Can't imagine the frustration of opening 200. Yeah. Relogging works. Excellent, McPenny. Okay, I'm glad that worked out for you. You did 48. Well, that's a lot of jars to open. So yeah, there's with this coming out, this news coming out, I've updated my spreadsheet for those that do want to make use of it. So the link to it is here for the Google spreadsheet. You're more than welcome to take a copy, and if you haven't done your Brutosaur calculations, you're more than welcome to take a copy of this chart and then put in your own gold targets. You can say how much gold you've got at the moment. Say it was like, I don't know, say a conservative 100,000 gold. It would just shift up the graph a little bit there. If that was 1,000,000 gold, then obviously your target, you've got less to deal with there, and your daily target is 27,000 gold. If you're at 4 million gold, or say you're at 3.5 million gold, then you're up here. Then your daily target is 10,273 until you need to get to the appropriate point. So change the figures, put in what you have, and then I've gone for the end date of beginning of October. Obviously that's the very earliest. Obviously you'll have a little bit more time than that, hopefully, but the spreadsheet is there for you to use, and put in your figures if you like. Ordered an Xbox controller so you can farm wolves in bed. Should be here on Tuesday. Had the Nintendo controller working on your old PC 2 years ago, so no, it works. It's much more chill than using a mouse. Very nice, Strizzing Rose. I can see that working, definitely. And can be something. Good evening to you. And chat running late due to spending time with Mum on Mother's Day. Of course, make sure you spend time with your loved ones first and foremost. £19. How much is that in kilos? That sounds quite large. Oreo's 7 kilos. So he's pretty large when it comes to cats. That only takes 4 buttons. I think we have someone with a fur addiction. Hey, absolutely. Actually, we do have behind me. I can't show you them, unfortunately, but we have both Cookie and Oreo on the bed because it's so windy and cold tonight. I think they've come up here for some solace. Carl says, been seeing my YouTube videos for learning TSM. I'm now getting around 70 to 100k gold each day from inscription alone. That's fantastic. Only problem is the crafting of inks. You can't keep up. That is a tough one. A lot of people do tend to basically make their inks and then go AFK for a while. Certainly. Is it gone at launch or in pre-patch? I understand it's at launch. It'll be moving to the black market auction house, so I think you'll be all right. Because that's what they said when I last remember. Master Dobby, thank you very much for using your Prime. So telling us all to spend time with Sam. Something like that, the real Ginny. Thank you very much, Master Dobby. That's very kind of you. And we just had a sale in celebration of some biltong. So thank you for your support. Absolutely lovely, and thank you, most appreciated. So what new? You say, Sirius, it's in pre-patch. How come you think it's pre-patch? Because I remember the original post saying it was on Shadowlands release. But unless you know something different or have a poster, I'd be very interested in seeing that, because that will change our numbers certainly. You're still at 3.5 million gold because you bought a token, and tomorrow you have exactly a month left on your deadline. I think you'll get that, Justin Rose, definitely. Because you've got enough things going on at the moment already, so you don't have to start a lot of stuff from scratch. You got yours came at 4.4 million, so that's very, very close. No problem, Sirius. I'd love to see it. It'd be interesting to know, because obviously I'll then have to change my figures on that one, certainly. But yeah, so we've got the Brutosaur, we've got a date to aim for, so there's the chart for those that want to use it. Student did a great video on his kind of tactics for the materials he farms, and it has a really nice list of some old world materials that's well worth looking at, in old world materials that you can look at in addition to sort of like your bread and butter ones. If you are in the market for farming materials, then Student is the one to go for, because he knows all the farming techniques, so please do check him out. I have at least 3 monks to level 80, so only 10 levels on each, and they start making 400 gold per day too, so it's all coming together. Very nice, definitely. He basically copied your list, did he? And if you are looking for more tips, Kraken Latte literally has just released another video yesterday, I believe it was, or was it this morning? I can't remember, but that was basically some more sort of gold tips. This is kind of like general guidelines as to how to sort of maximize your gold making, so they're kind of like short and sweet little tips that you may or may not be doing already, so it's quite nice, especially as a beginner gold maker, to remember there are a few different ways to sort of enjoy the game and make sure that you're sort of maximizing your potential. Much like the dinosaur that inspired its look, the mighty Caravan Brutosaur no longer for this world. Blizzard will be removing it from the vendor that sells it when Shadowlands expansion launches. That was on Blizzard Watch, November the 22nd. Okay, that's what I remember, DK Dabu. That. I don't have the access to the exact post, but I do remember that. Thank you for the quote on that one. So, in talking of other gold making tips, this kind of all that Wowhead this week is all about, sort of like thinking about how to make gold and various things like that. Stop complaining and get creative. This sentence is like comes from a life coach. That's an interesting one. That one, the title of this heading comes straight from Woiser and his or her. The Reddit post that talks about this, and it's basically going through launch is the problem. Okay, that could be a woolly phrase, couldn't it? I guess I think of launch as in the date the actual game comes out. That's what I think about. 9.0 beginning of Shadowlands, or its sale date. I would go with the date it launches and everyone can go in it. I think of pre-patches kind of like just like a prequel, sort of like just a taster. It's not the actual game by any stretch. You remember things like this going away in pre-patch? Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe there is some weight to it. I don't have a lot of experience on it myself, but I just go with my own logical thoughts on it. So you think it will be removed on pre-patch as well, Metcat? That could be interesting then, because the things I hear is that pre-patch may not be that long away. I don't know exactly when they would be thinking of doing it. Obviously, they're still only in alpha, so it'll be a little bit while to go yet, I would hope. Fingers crossed, it will all be okay. Don't the talent, spells and professions change at pre-patch? I think they will be probably doing I would expect the level squish. Blizzard has clarified when things went away in pre-patches. Thank you, Rasheen, and good evening to you as well. So have they actually clarified it for this one in particular, or is that what they do historically? I can't remember, because I don't have a lot of experience with this side of things. But how are you doing, Rasheen? Hope you're doing well. So talking about the next lot of stuff, this is basically in response to a lot of questions people's either post on the Reddit or people here on various forums, is like in response to I can't make gold, or nothing sells, or markets crash. And it's a really nice kind of like look and insight into how to think differently, and where to look for different opportunities. Things like this, which is the just doing raw gold farms. If you're if you're literally saying you can't make any gold, well, there's always some way to make gold, freehold being one of them. They go into a bit more detail on that later. The one where nothing sells, obviously we've always talked about this on my stream as well, is diversifying your markets, finding niches that work for your server. Elementals, primals, volatiles, old herbs and ore, things like that. There's so many different niches in the game. There's going to be different ways to be able to find a niche that works for you. Like all the things that went away in pre-patches was said they would go away in pre-patches in the past. Actually, so they actually clarified that if it was going away in a pre-patch, they would say this is going to go away in a pre-patch, rather than saying when something releases. I see what you mean. Don't think we'll reach 5 million in time, which is fairly new to WoW in general. Just started playing 2 months ago, but you did pay a visit to Nick and screenshot the preview of your toon on the mount, so at least you have that. Well, at least you got that, certainly. You actually can't make gold and nothing sells because I don't lock in. Well, that would be a fair enough reason, Rasheen, definitely. Or WoW tokens work for you as well. That's another one. But yeah, so there are sort of various things you can look at. The ones, this one is another interesting one. Markets have crashed, which we're kind of seeing at the moment with the herbs. It's kind of expected. A lot of people are out there trying to get some gold, and herbs are one of the things that people are looking at. So they talk about what other markets retain their value towards the end of an expansion, what might rise in value. Ask yourself those questions and have a look at the Undermined Journal, because we were comparing the herbs with the previous ones with Jack's post from before, and seeing how there was a general trend downwards anyway. Definitely. You're away from gold making for almost 3 weeks now, so I'll eventually have to log in before Iceland as well. Definitely, Rasheen. Is there any reason for your break, or are you just taking a break from it at the moment? I imagine your competition is probably very worried about you if you haven't logged on in 3 weeks. If you don't want to stress about it, that's fair. If you think you should learn, though, for fun experience of Shadowlands, who knows what new shinings they'll put in. I'm definitely looking forward to that, certainly. If your goal is to make gold in the long term, you're likely better to just stockpile your gathering prof stuff and sell once Shadowlands drops. I've never been a fan of stockpiling, really, unless you know something's really going to spike. I tend to say you might as well try and sell it now. Give us a chance to make gold. That's true. Real Wolf, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And then there's some other great advice here about being creative, trying out different things like transmutes, funneling to the alchemist, which we've talked about before, checking for rare NPCs, using your alts, and then learn patience. Obviously, you need to learn about the gold making, learn about your server, learn about your markets, even if you don't actually make money, but you also get knowledge as you sort of work things out for your own server, and being consistent, sort of looking at what sells, and then when it does sell, doubling down on that. There's lots of really good advice in here. Highly recommend a good read. Go to the original thread as well, because there's lots of good responses in there as well. Welcome back, Risen Rose. Flare up coming, so you noticed already had days where you didn't repost auction, so you thought might as well take a break for it. That's good as reason as any, Rasheen. I hope you're on the mend now, though. But yeah, I mean, it's a good time to just sort of rest, recuperate, and refocus your energy, certainly. We'll see selling it, but what's when Shadowlands goes live? You think it's pre-patch, we may have less time than we think. Yeah, I can see how that would be interpreted, Sirius, and without any actual Blizzard clarification one way or the other, we are left to guess a little bit, certainly. So it's all good again. As good as it can be. I hope it's all doing well for you, Brigitte. I plan to learn gold making, but for the moment your main goal is just to make enough gold for the monthly sub. Exactly, that's where I started off, and look where it got me now. I'm just making gold all the time now. So we did all of this, we did all of that, and then one of the things that was mentioned up here was the freehold runs, and then that is talked about a bit more depth in the thread. And Wires62 talks about what they do for freehold runs in terms of having a 460 Guardian Druid that only takes 7 minutes to run through and get a fair amount of stuff. So if you're looking for a raw gold farm, this does seem, and especially with people being geared up at the moment, this does seem like it might have potential, certainly. Agnes Game, thank you very much for using your Prime. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed for your support. Super duper appreciated. Welcome on board. I have a whole load of emotes for you to use. There was a guild achievement to raise all races and classes to a certain level. You were working on it, but then pre-patch for Legion went live and the progress was reset because the level cap was raised, although the expansion itself was not playable then. That's interesting. So I wonder if it's something that's specific to a change in gameplay that would make that change, rather than just like that's how it works. So it's interesting. I don't know the answers myself, so I'm hoping for the latter. I'm hoping for when Shadowlands releases, but we don't know for sure. Mr. K Rocket, thank you, also using your Prime. Incredibly kind of you. Thank you for your support. A lot of emotes for you as well. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome aboard. There we go. Yeah, I plan to learn Gold Mike. Oh, okay, got that one. Okay, so yeah, 3 hold runs seems like it could be quite good, especially with people being high geared at the moment. Well, I'm working on that. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still about 440 as a priest, but we're working on it over the streams, definitely. Tweet WoW devs directly. Maybe they'll clarify it. That's a good idea, Sirius. I might well do that and just see if they can give us any clarification on that. Speaking of prominent gold makers, Records, aka Want to Buy Gold, has a nice video that has been talking about Shadowlands Professions. There was a update on the data mine profession information on Wowhead a few days ago. Nothing too specific, but it's just talking about how the optional reagents might have changed, and then yeah, I mean, it's all, the thing at the moment is all speculation because we don't actually know anything about professions other than what we can see in the Unlearned tab. So it's basically, what I found interesting about this post was just generally the thoughts on the actual profession itself and the potentials they have. So it's an interesting. I didn't do too much talking about it on this because I didn't want to do any sort of too much spoilery stuff. But the link is there for people that do want to follow it. And there's some interesting thought processes Reckles has gone through talking about alchemy. So I'll be very interested to see if people agree. And by all means, put your comments down below. Not really looking forward to having an additional step between getting herbs and making pots and flasks. Yes, me too, SuDM. That was something that is talked about in this video, and something that we talked about once the profession stuff did come out, and it talked about the equivalent of milling for inscription being now introduced in alchemy. So you've got 2 lots of conversion going on with the herbs there, rather than doing what we've got with BFA tailoring and things where you can just craft straight from the cloth. This is an extra step backwards, it would seem. Speculation Nation for the win. What else did I miss? There we go. Add milling to herbalism and not alchemy or inscription. That's a nice idea, actually. That could clean things up, certainly. And then you could sell those as an extra thing on. Definitely, I like that idea. Taxi6116, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And DK Dabu too, thank you also for the follow. Hope they don't put the ranks behind the rep grinds again. Yeah, we don't know anything about ranks yet, so it would be interesting. I'm not totally against ranks. I think they're okay. They kind of serve as another barrier of entry, and but it's difficult to make gold, especially further on, if you don't have the rank 3s, and then putting them behind reputations does make that a little bit harder, certainly. Yeah, like mining and smelting. That would make sense for herbalism to have milling. I like that idea. As long as they remove the proc changes. Yeah, I mean, Silas, I've gone, I think, 2 weeks now without a Silas proc. I'm definitely feeling the rougher end of the luck on that one, certainly. Not having ranks killed dual crafting. Is that specifically because the dual crafting didn't have the ranks, McBainey? Because it'd be interesting to see what happens. I like the look of dual crafting at the moment, with the fact that it's working with all the other professions, definitely. Min Shaolin, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Not behind reps quests are going to be even worse for us gold makers. Everyone can craft everything without any threshold markets. Going to be flooded. You can guess. Yes, when they get flooded, if it's too easy, there does have to be a barrier. I definitely agree with that one, certainly. A level 110 being able to craft thousands of gems. Ah, right, okay. Everything will make things slower and make spending much time in the game. That would be the thing. It is a game. There are going to need to be some limits, I think, and there's got to be a challenge somehow. Because, or if not a challenge, there has to be discrete single steps you can do to work towards an end goal. And if you can keep on accomplishing those mini steps, working towards a larger goal, even if it's something like the Epicurean's rewards for the chef's hat, it doesn't have to be straight away. But if you're willing and dedicated to go for that end goal, then I think you should be justly rewarded, definitely. Jeannie, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And good evening, Gwilyn. Hope you're doing well as well. Thanks for stopping by. Other way of getting the rank 3s must be rep grinding. At least a cool little story behind all the steps would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I love the quest lines that came with the tools of the trade, and sockets being another thing. Yeah, that would help. Just make it insanely expensive to get high ranks. You want rank 3 at 100k. That could. I'm not sure I like that idea, Jack, because that does make it a little bit sort of like the rich get richer, and it makes things focus very much on the money side of things rather than the effort side of things, certainly. Oh yes, I didn't actually go through this post, did I? Non-BFA gold making. There's a couple of good posts that I've condensed into one summary here from Good Gaming's, talking about various farms they do without BFA in order to make gold. So anyone who's like starting in WoW and has fairly well leveled up but isn't quite at the point where they can afford BFA, there's a whole lot of really good ideas here of things you could do for various farms and things. Savage Blood, there's lots of WOD stuff here, Volatile Fire, Sumptuous Fur, obviously, and the Garrison stuff. Drizzling Rose knows a lot about, certainly. Garrison farming, exactly. Let's hope there's some way of getting the rank 3s. Must be, if it must be rock climbing, at least a bit of story. Yeah, I've read that one. Sorry, I missed that one. At least not prior to 8.3. Use a grand total of 10 gems this entire expansion as an active raider, Mythic plus Dungeon Raider. Yeah, I don't think there are that many sockets. With the thing with Shadowlands that I like is the ability to be able to put a socket into items is definitely an idea. Strong profits. Exactly. So that's basically the summary of the Wowhead economy blog this week. So there's a lot of interesting sort of like tidbits that people have shared. There's some non-BFA things in there. There's various tips and runs that people can do. So it's very much farming based at the moment, and little ideas and things you can do to make gold. So if you're not sure, this is the aim of this is to hopefully give people a lot of different ideas as to what they could do to get themselves to that 5 million mark, wherever it is, certainly. Borean leather can be turned into heavy Borean and then Arctic fur if it's profitable. Yes, that was the one of the ones that a student talked about in his video as well. Sockets into items. I mean, items, put sockets on items. There we go. Those are the 2 farms you did today. Oh, fantastic. Into heavier and then pristine hide if it's profitable. Yeah, those are good ideas, Silent Mouse. I don't do those myself, but I have heard good things about them, certainly. Stole them from his list. So that's the Wowhead wrap-up. If you do have any comments, please do post them below, and I'd love to hear your feedback. If you do have any questions here on the stream, please do ask me, and I'll answer them, or anyone in chat will answer them as best we can. But we'll carry on with our gold making after this, so I'll park this for the moment. And then we'll carry on with our gold making. I'm stuck here on the fence, so let me just move myself out of the way, and then we'll go through my mailbox opening throughout all my characters, and then we'll see what I need to do. I did relist everything on Samadan recently, so it's just the gold here at the moment. If you can do it on a very low pop server, anyone can do it. Exactly. I guess people are not getting the Nozol sockets on their gear. I don't know. I haven't heard much about that, really. Definitely. On what difficulty should you do the freehold runs? I think normal, yes, so you can do the 10. Don't forget Greater Drainic flasks. Well, that is a good point, actually. I haven't expanded that market on it on myself, certainly. What classes should have what profession? For example, like Druid, Herb Miner. There is that in terms of like Druids are quite good for their mobility, for sure. But, Pasture, I would always say, first and foremost, make sure it's a combination that you enjoy and you like the sound of, because it's you that's going to be playing them. So I've tended to keep things together for my characters. So Samadan, my cloth wearer, is doing the tailoring, and as a priest he's doing the enchanting. That was kind of like what fitted with me when I started playing him. And then my demon hunter is the leather worker. My Death Knight is the blacksmith and miner. So I'm doing things that make more sense to me from a sort of, not so much a roleplay point of view, but just like what I would find enjoyable, certainly. Take professions like alchemy, inscription, or enchanting on your main. Those ones are a good idea just from the reputation point of view, certainly. Just happy that you can stop worrying about leveling your leather work. Finally got your 5-character army with max professions. Time to make some moolah. Excellent, that sounds pretty good. And Grim Doom, thank you very much for the follow. What else have we got? What's my thought of running that +9 Atal? Good job in finishing the key, even if it wasn't in time. Thank you, Jeannie. We actually do have as well. If you, I haven't put the latest stream on YouTube yet because I need to edit it together. But we do actually have an 8 key for Atal Dazar that needs to be used up. I'll probably do that on Tuesday though. Probably give that another run perhaps and do a little bit more research. If you're on e-Tristans, because that's your market and you're dropping the market from 800 down to like 45 gold just to make a statement. That's my market. I mean that does happen, certainly. Like 4 expansions something, mythic raiding, only herbs, good for herbing. Did I miss something there earlier? Do freehold normal. If you can kill Harlan, it's the fastest way out of the dungeon, or you can suicide before crossing the bridge to Harlan. That adds some repair costs to the run, but you can still earn pretty decent for it. Okay, thank you, DK Debath. That's good to know. Gold making is a lot of trial and error, finding out your style and where you fit in within your service economy. Yes, I would wholeheartedly agree with that, Sensors. Definitely. Edwards, good evening to you. Week 2 update of your gold making got up to 1.2 million this week. Very nice indeed. Apart from the bags, doesn't seem to sell, but still going well. And I missed by Shiko. Thank you very much for using your Prime. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much. A whole load of emotes for you. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. And have a higher key than I do. That's only a +6 Siege of Veralis on your Hunter. Could be interesting then. I'd definitely like to do that one again. See if we can get that further. Posted 10 Tice-Ray Linen Braces on your Enchanter and sold quite a few for 1.5k. Oh wow, very nice. Very nice indeed. Let's have a look at what Samadan has been getting up to over this week. We do have a large purchase here of Tice-Ray Linen. I saw some on earlier for, what was it for? 4.5 gold. So I snapped that up. We've also got some decent sales here. We've got a Shadowy mask, sold one of those. That's quite nice. Then we've had some Accords Critical Strike. Looks like that's been a reset of selling all 15 in one go. 9,000 there. We were talking about that earlier. The same with my Tome Evolutions Cataclysm. They were very cheap, actually. I wasn't looking at my prices on those. Those seem to be particularly cheap. So that was a reset I missed out on, or didn't spot myself. Tasty Cupcake, that's probably the only sale I had for Children's Week of Tasty Cupcakes. 190 gold for that one. Some Netherweave bags, some Uncanny gear. There's some very cheap Delicious Chocolate Cake at 190 gold. My main profits on Delicious Chocolate Cake were from right at the beginning. I don't think I have any here. That was probably from last week. I had them selling for about 4,000. That was my main profits then. We do have some Uncanny gear, some Netherweave bags. Flying Carpet there, 2,800. That's quite nice. So 103,000 in sales. I probably spent that much in this Tice-Ray Linen alone, so that's probably an equal mailbox if we open all of that up. I'll let that run all through, and then we've got another lot just at the end. High value things take forever to sell, and there are never any mats in the auction house, so you have to do all the farm yourself. Just can't buy stuff and make it. It can be that case in a lot of servers, certainly. Before getting teleported out, and that hurts your runs per hour. You started by using the Druid teleport back and forth before you could kill Harlan that easy. Oh, right, okay. The Uncanny Cloaks, the reason I think they sell the best is, well, A, any class can have them, and B, because once you get a fresh 120, it's not that easy to get your cloak through the quest. So I think you need to be able to get your item level up a bit higher. You need to be able to just have a regular cloak that you can then use, and that's where I think a lot of my sales of cloaks have come from. Slapjack, thank you very much for the follow. Because people are doing world quests scaled with eye level. Yeah, that's the same reason, isn't it, Metcalf? 2 more allied races to unlock, Volpera and Zandalari. Halfway through Revered for them, and your world quest grinding should be done. Very nice, Will. I know it's taking you a long time to go through that. So Freehold, you have to do the whole instant, or just mobs around the first boss. I believe it might be just the ones around the first boss, as far as I know. And Deku Dude and Migueli, thank you both for the follow. Hope you're doing well. You just assume people are like you. Well, that does happen. All mobs in the whole dungeon except the bosses. Alright, so you literally do everything. Running across do it as you're running across the last bridge or time, so you finish the last packs before Harlan and you'll be good to go. Okay. It's not something I've tried a lot myself yet, but I'd like to maybe want something a little bit higher. I'm probably the wrong class for it, but it'll be interesting to give it a go. So the last of my sales were just a few different pieces here. Tome of Illusions at various prices there. Another 7,000 there. So that takes me up to 535,000. It would be about 600,000 or so if I didn't, if I hadn't bought all that Tice-Ray Linen. But that Tice-Ray Linen will be processed and turned into Veiled Crystals eventually. So I'd almost gotten rid of all of my stock of Tice-Spray, so it's about time I /TSM put Tide. It's about time I reinvested and made some more Veiled Crystals. I just let that run through. How do I determine how many flasks you make with the Silas proc. I kind of started small and worked my way up from there until it was kind of dictated to by the amount of Xenonthid I could get hold of in any one chunk, and then that's semi-dictated to by the amount of potions you can craft within any one buff. Trying to unlock flying, you have everything except 50 out of 100 world quests and the Tortollan rep, which is quite annoying to get to revered. It is a tough one to get to revered, certainly. Thankfully they do give a reasonable amount of reputation per world quest, so hopefully you can get some emissaries and finish that one off. I have 4 alts left and my account is done. You have so much gold making opportunity with alts. Try to enjoy it with a movie on the side or something. Make it easier to power through. Yeah, having alts, doing regular things like that is certainly a good idea on alts, and having something in the background is a good way of alleviating that. I just won a Tristful battling on the black market also for 2.5k. It's worth 103 on your server. Now just wait for it to sell. Worth the bidding war. Fantastic. I've never really tried the black market auction house. I did put a bid in once, but I've got no idea whether I got outbid or not. I just literally never went back to it. So that's an interesting one. It's something I know a lot of people do, but I've not really experienced it myself. How are we doing with this? Slowly getting through all of this. Sometimes it's actually quicker to do this manually or do it in a less laggy zone. That would be better as well. Natty, good evening to you. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. I've had a lovely time with my family this weekend, so we're just doing a little bit of gold making. Me, my wife and my son have been levelling up together. We're all over level 16. We've started our adventure in Northrend, which has been really good fun. That was a sudden rush at the end. There we go, that's all of those. Looks like Cookie's gotten down. So I probably filled up some other bags somewhere. There's some Tide Spray in there. It's probably just filled up a load of Tide Spray in there as well. Yep, it has. And yeah, I filled up more Tide Spray in those slots and a few in there. So I have completely filled up my bag, my guild slots, with all that spare Tide Spray. So we'll leave that in there for the moment. That will just do. I'll deal with that for now, and then we'll go over and just clean this up for the moment. And just deposit all reagents, just get rid of that. That can go in there. Okay, so that's done. And then we want to gear your alts, be like levelling them. Your main, since Wrath of the Lich King has been heroic and mythic geared, and only, though you don't consider yourself an alt player, curious what Brutal sells on the black market. I would be definitely curious. Oh, there we go, we just sold a Shadowy mask for 4,000 gold. So Shadowy masks are doing well at the moment. I guess people are doing old content or looking for achievements they haven't gotten yet. So it's nice to have that one go through. You've got the contract there, usually 5 world quests per day for the Tortollan rep. So according to your calculation, that should get revered in 3 days. That's not too bad. Consistent playing, certainly. Don't let Mushy see my guild bank. Definitely, it's now a complete mess and it's full. So I'll have to sort that one out. It's on the all things collect list. Is it really right right one too? And good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Yes. If it is on there, then I can see why people are probably picking it up. Then certainly, you want that Lucid Nightmare mount and the mask helps with, so they can fly in Shadowlands. Oh, that would be interesting. Ziso, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Right, so I think we're okay on the restocks at the moment. I did that earlier. So I'm going to leave Samadan and check our other characters for the moment. We'll just run through and check everyone out. So Awakening next. No luck on the Silas proc when I last checked it earlier this afternoon. We'll give it another try today. I did relist everything, and we did have a few sales of potions. So what I'm trying to do is just make use of my stock that I do have on Xenonthid and see if I can make some more potions to sell. But the problem, obviously, without having the proc is that you can't really sell them. So we do have some sales, though, 97,000 in sales. So that's quite nice. Endless Fathoms, a few sales there. Undertow. So Flasks are giving me the most amount there, so I'll take all of that, taking me up to just over 200,000. Gwilyn, gifting a sub to Paywall. So that's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed for your continued support. And thank you for sharing the love.
Have anything ancient to trade?
So we're going to go through this and just clear out those. And I'll run a cancel scan on that. That's why masks are selling well for me. The fact that the mount will be able to fly in Shadowlands means you could do with worth doubling down on. Yeah, and the Real Ginny was saying earlier in the streams during the week that it was selling well for them. So I think that's a good idea to maybe make... I don't know how many I've got in my operation. We'll probably have worth a look at on Samadan and make a few extra, maybe 5 or something like that. Little Ben from the Long Boy Pet and called him Motivation. He'll grow up and be your mount before Shadowlands. That's a nice idea. I like that. So I'll just post at this lot. A lot of these below minimum price, which doesn't help. So I won't necessarily get sales on these, but I would like to get some more. Or even a market reset on them is another good idea. I think at 4,000 that's a reasonable price. So we've gone with continuous curing, so no luck on the proc again. So, well, yeah, I'll just quickly jump back to Samadan and check how many Shadowy masks I do have on. Interesting thought process to go through. Named yours Bayleaf after your favourite Pokemon, who has a long neck dino. That's very nice. Mine Brutosaur is called Elliot after Pete's dragon, because that's what his face reminds me of. From that. There's no Pokemon after Season 1. Oh, there's plenty of Pokemon. Nothing on there. Yours doesn't have a name. So let's go here and look at tailoring, and then we'll go down to waste of time. No, that's the waste of time. That's different. We want... Thanks. So there should be a specials or something like that. I think I had here. Alec plushies, bags, shopping, mounts. That's Iceweb Spider Silk. It's not that. Pretty clothes. I'm going to have to search in for this. Shadow. I'll tell you what I'll do, actually. The easy way to find this is to find out what group, brute face. We look at my auction and we look at Shadowy mask and we see it's in tailoring pretty clothes Shadowy mask. There it is. And I currently have, well, what have we got on? Sold on average 36. Highest I ever sold on for was 42,000. Lowest I sold on for was 1,300. Cost me about 1,100 to make them. And doesn't tell me how many I've got on me at the moment, so I may just have the one. Let me just check. So that's tailoring, pretty clothes, Shadowy mask. So I'll have a look at my groups here. Groups, tailoring, pretty clothes, Shadowy mask, and then the Shadowy mask. So we've got a crafting operation of 2 of each at the moment. So we could probably up that a little bit more. So let's take that off and increase it to 4 of each. Let's double that up. And then we can have a look at the Shadowy mask market itself. So if we have a look here, and there's the pattern, 4,999, but there's none actually on at the moment, looking at that. So I'll need to make some more straight away. Why is Shadowy mask valuable? It is used in the Lucid Mount achievement. You need to be wearing it for one of the steps. It's one of the secrets, the secret WoW finding community. You think 6 to 8k is okay for those now? That wouldn't be a bad price, I think. Let's have a look. So Shadowy mask. Let's make a couple if we can. Let me go to crafting, search. Let's do this directly now. Shadow weave, Shadowy mask. So we need maybe, let's add 4 in now into the queue, which means we need bolts of mage weave. We need 8. Bolts of Mage Weave I have... Now I probably have some Mage Weave in my guild bank. Let me go have a look. Let's jump down here. And we'll work this out. Yeah, the pattern is worth getting. It's hard to get the pattern. I remember when it came out, when this whole thing came out, it was quite amazing. Bolts of Mage Weave. So I've got 17 there I can make straight away. I need 8, so we can just switch straight back from there and make 8 from here. So Bolt of Mage Weave will make those, and we can go from here. The developers announced this week that they would be able to fly in Shadowlands. Yes, it's definitely worth it then. Question, how do vendor operations work? You can't get the hang of them. I use a vendor operation for buying things on my vendor selling character Nadamas. We'll go over to there in a moment. I'll jump onto them next. Once I've made these masks, we'll have a look at that. Just bought the pattern on your realm for 600 gold. Very nice, Det. You could probably flip that quite easily. Just the pattern itself. That's the wrong thing. I actually wanted... I'll use the TSM interface for that, as we've already got them here, so we can make our 4 Shadowy masks. Might will get a few of these whilst we're here. So with that being announced, that's being able to react to the market and thinking, okay, so now might be a good time to get them. And the spider silk is also quite easy to go and farm as well. So yeah, farming the recipe itself, the pattern, is really difficult because you have to go over to... where is it? It's in Searing Gorge, isn't it? It's all of these characters around here you have to kill, I believe. There's a little route around there. The talk Will was talking about earlier, where was it? The developers announced this week that the Lucid Mount would be able to fly in Shadowlands. So I think people are making sure that they can get hold of the Lucid Mount at the moment. So this is kind of like the current topic, as it were. So we're making sure we've got some Shadowy masks on the market. I just sold one for 4,000. They're 1,000 gold each. Maybe it's worth resetting the market on them. If I was to look at my auctions now and run a post scan, so 3919 is my normal price. We could probably push that whole lot up a little bit higher. So let's look at the operation that deals with. It might even be a manual price. Let me have a look. I remember doing this manually at one point. Actually, no, it's using average region and DB market craft minimum on that. I'm pretty sure at some point I had a manual Shadowy mask operation. Sell Shadowy mask. Here we go. Shadowy mask times 2. Let's adjust this one. So we're going to call this Shadowy mask times 4. We're going to change the posting operation here to 48 is probably fine, although 24 is probably better here. We don't really want a bid now. This is an old operation, so we're just going to refactor it here. And then what have we got here? This seems like an odd operation. I think a more manual price here would be useful. So we're going to go with, say, 1,000 gold minimum. We're going to go with maximum 45,000 gold, because I sold one for 42,000 gold, so let's go full on maximum. And then normal price, so we just sold one for 4,000, let's try 7,500 gold as a normal price. Let's just mix that up a little bit and then check our... Let's check our masks here on the tooltip. So min is 1,000, normals 7,500. So let's go and post those on and have a look at those. Run a post scan on those. So 7,500 normal price. Let's pop those 4 on and see if we get any sales. There we go. That's a nice little thing, hopefully. What did I miss on the chat? Absolutely loads of stuff. Lady Daisy, good evening to you. And Estimat9, good evening to you. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Haven't been around my stream for so long. Good to see you. It's good to see you as well. Lovely to have you here. What else did I miss? Shadow Lol TV, thank you very much for the follow. What else we got? We're going for 99 gold in your server 2 weeks ago. Back up to 1500 now at least. Oh, okay. That's a good mix. It's definitely. Paladin, easy class to play. Have self-healing abilities, but it's fun class to play. Yeah, I'd love to try a Paladin. I want a Dark Iron Dwarf as my Paladin next. I think I've never played a Paladin before. Certain items keep coming back in the mail, particularly low-level greens. They don't sell. Try sell at 50% normal price. You can give it a go, Pawnsy, or you can look at the region sale rate average, because that's what TSM records as the sale rate as an average across your region, and that's the actual sale rate that TSM records. It's only amongst TSM users, so it's not indicative of the entire market, but it does give you a clue as to what it's what I like to think of as the rock bottom price of things. So see how it goes. Definitely give it a go and see what happens. So like saying 10 times if the limit exceeds, TSM will stop posting. Yes, there is that as well, isn't there? Shadow Roll, thank you for the follow. There is, when you go into your posting operations, say something like this, you can have don't post after this many expires, and you can set in a maximum number, say 10, 20, 50, 100. I've even had with some of my green transmog, and then once it hits the max expires, then you can decide what to do with it. Right, let's go through here. Rock bottom. Yeah, slightly similar. Do I have a Demon Hunter? If not, level 1 before pre-patch. I do have a Demon Hunter. Urfin is my Demon Hunter. Reminds me, actually, that's nothing to do with Demon Hunters, but we're talking about the vendor operation. I wanted to show that one as well. So we'll jump over, I'm trying to remember the order I'm doing everything in. So we've done Awakening, done Samadan. We'll actually jump all the way to Nadamas, anti-Samadan on the Horde side, and we'll just look at the vendor operation I have going here. So this vendoring operation I have set up is for basically rebuying things that I've sold, vendor items that I've sold on the auction house. So I'll show you the auction. Let's have a look at the gold we've made this week so far. We're also doing the alchemy cooldown on this character. So we've got the expires, but we do have 7,700 gold in the mail. So we've sold, what have we sold? Anchorweed has obviously done quite well. We've got the occasional decent procs there, a 10, a 10, a 16. But we've also sold Chemical Blasting Cap for 1,300, and again here for 1,300. I've sold a bit of spare ore and stuff I had, but most of this is either Anchorweed or vendor sales. So we were at 10,000 gold, we're now at 17,700. So that's that lot. So then what I have here is a vendoring operation that once I post my things back on the auction house, and we have a look at that. So I'll go here and we'll look at my auctions. I've got nothing on at the moment, so I'll run a post scan on all of that. So my vendoring operation I've set on this is to buy 200 of each of the items that you can get from the Brutosaur mount, and my vendoring operation will buy those. If we go onto here, if we go into the group, under my group here, so I have a vendor sell operation. So this is all the stuff that you can buy off of the Brutosaur mount, and then the group operation in here, an auctioning operation, and then the buy vendor items is the vendoring operation. And then inside here I've got myself a restock quantity to have 200 of each item. Enable buying is checked, and then I have sources to include for restock, the auction house, the mail and the bank. So what this means is I'll have a group in my vendor interface. I have to make sure I've checked my auction first so that TSM can see that we've got some on the auction house, and then I will go over here. I don't use the sell options, no I don't at this stage. This is my only use of it so far. But then I've got the group here for buying. I use the vendor sell and I just buy the group here, and it'll automatically buy everything I need. At the moment I don't need to buy anything according to that, because I already have everything stocked up. We've got 200, a lot of those. It looks like, yeah, I've got everything already, so there's no need to buy anything on that. But whilst I am here, I will do my transmute herbs to anchors. See if we can get a nice proc on that. The bag of anchors gave me 10 anchorweed, so that's good. We'll post those on as well. Whilst I'm here, this should be a fairly quick operation really, and we'll post that on for the minimum price at the moment, which is 56 gold. So that's quite cheap, but my minimum price, which is my actual crafting cost, is 24 gold, so at least doubling my money there. So that's fine by me. Yeah, this music is really nice, isn't it, Drizzling Rose? Is this the Grand Bazaar, this one, I think it's called. So I'll jump off of this character, and we'll jump onto our other crafters, our leather worker, and our inscriptionist actually first. Let's have a look at this. Just got 6k from a nice guy on your server who's going to delete his character. Oh, right. That's very kind. Your TSM desktop having a hard time logging into the server. I did hear there was an update recently, right, too, so maybe it's related to that. Now that your DK is max level, the only profession you don't have is engineering. Think of doing that one in Shadowlands on your second Demon Hunter, because we can make more of them. I might even make all your profession alts Demon Hunters for easy gathering playstyle. Let's go with whichever is fun for you, certainly. So let's deal with some expires on our inscription character. Keep the app running for a bit and it will connect eventually. Okay, so that's good advice, certainly. Not quite got enough room for everything here, so let's post that lot on in a couple of chunks. Auctioning, select all groups, run a post scan. Let's have a look at this. Most of this is reasonable. There's not very wide my inscription market. We need to look at this a little bit more detail and see if we can get some depth into it. But at the moment we're doing okay with sales. 28,000 this week, some contracts, some war scrolls, an uncanny etched vessel of the Harmonious, and one of the Quick Blade, sold those for 6,000 gold each. Highborn Compendium, a Swirling Tide, just one of those. That's quite competitive, that market, so I've not seen many sales this week. Haven't done many cancel scans this week, so we'll take the 28,000. Thank you very much, and then I'll post the rest of my things on. And then we'll check to see what we need to recraft on this character, because I haven't done that yet. Fubi92, thank you for the follow. And thank you for coming in with your Twitch Prime as well. Straight away, thank you very much for your support. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. It's prime time in EU and servers are super busy, which would also account for it as well, certainly. Deposit is normally 5% of vendor price. For example, an item is 100 gold to vendor, deposit price would be 5 gold or 10 gold. Remember, but it does add up, it certainly does. Demon Hunters are so good for clearing current content, world quests and such. Yeah, I do enjoy playing. I mean, I play as a tank Demon Hunter, so I've not really tried it as anything else, but I do find them certainly robust, shall we say. So we posted that one up. Check all my auctions, they're all there. Then we'll check my restocks of said auctions. So go to my group, restock selected groups. Okay, so all the war scrolls we need to make, the contract of tolerance seekers, an etched vessel, and a swirling tides, which means we need a whole load of maroon ink, 82. Now, I don't actually have any Zinanthid on me, so I'm going to have to reinvest some of my gold into this Zinanthid. Now, thinking about this, Awakening has an excess of Zinanthid that I could probably do with actually using up some of that stock. So we've got 4,600 on them. So what I'm going to actually do is just transfer some stock from one character over to the other. So I'm going to go, seeing as alchemy isn't getting me any procs at the moment, and I don't want that Zinanthid to go to waste. So I'll take 1,000 of it and give it over to my Samadan, my inscriptionist, to try and sort of spread the balance. There's no point me really buying any more at this stage when I have so much stock on one character and not enough on the other. So we'll just do a mailing operation here. I actually don't need to do an operation, I'll just 2, 3, 4, 5. Send to Samadan, and that should be gone across quite nicely. Then we can swap back to that character. You play Vengeance as your yes, you play Vengeance as your supposed main. You're welcome. Just watched for like 10 seconds of my stream and felt like subbing. Oh, that's so kind of you. You were mentioned on Wowhead, and I've got to say, it's nice seeing other people help others out. Keep on. Well, it's very kind of you, Phoebe. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the Wowhead blog. So we're going to go back to Samadan here. Free long boy drinks for all. Nice, Darkwing. So, okay, so we've got some Zenithid coming our way, so we can mill a little bit of that for the moment. Let's have a look. Let's open up all of that. Running out of space here. We've got a lot of mess in my bags. Not looking too pretty there. I've got a lot of gear we need to sort out as well. So I could probably do with clearing some of this out. Easiest way at the moment though, we've got mass mills in and thid. So let's start with that. Just let that run. We don't need to do all of this at once because we only need about 80 odd maroon ink. I don't want to spend my whole time on stream milling, so I'll just do this small amount for the moment. There we go. New to the channel, I hope you have a real good time. That was very kind of you, Rita Sunkao. Sorry if I've butchered your name. Lovely to have you here. If you do have any questions about gold making or anything else, please do ask in chat. Myself or anyone else in chat will be happy to answer. Oh, thank you for shouting out on the Discord as well. Gifting a sub to Medcat. That's very kind of you, Det. So much love going on in the channel tonight. That's lovely to see. Thank you for your support. Congratulations, Medcat. I have coming to the gathering of gold makers. Welcome, Derblicious. I hope you're doing well this fine evening. That's very kind of you. Thoughts about how the new auction house works? I like the new auction house. It does remove a lot of the things that we used to have, like pretty stacking, in favour of convenience for the player. And I'm all for convenience for the general player because that means more people using the auction house, both selling and buying, which means a much more vibrant economy. So I think the changes were long overdue, and I think they've been worked out as best they can, certainly. Annette, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Been busy with the chat. I'm doing very well, thank you, Delicious. We're just going through all our characters, restocking where we can, and then we're going to carry on, check our gold levels throughout. Game Cat, good evening to you. About 1 million for now in 2 weeks. It's very nice indeed. Now I have a nice new pink cooking hat. Exactly. When I get partnership, then I can start doing 2-year badges as well. So that should be good. We're just going to run through all of this. I think I'm almost there with the amount I need for my crafts here, but I'll let this lot come through. Mainly from farming, is it? Okay, nice. Did I enchant my gloves for crafting? Yes, I believe I should have them on this character. We have... Oh, actually, no, we don't. We've got the herbalism gloves on. I didn't swap over my gloves. Well spotted. Oh, we'll let this last lot run through there. How much setup is Inscription? Just spent the day farming alchemy recipes. Still quite a few work orders to go. Getting it set up to the point I've gotten it isn't too bad. The contracts are the main things that really do need reputation for. I've not got all of them myself, as you can see here with the various stars. It took a while indeed. It did, certainly. I didn't spot that it was going slower. But to get inscription further, I think in terms of getting the glyphs would be the next step. That's the really hard part, because the glyphs are coming from a lot of the supplies or various reputations and things, like getting revered on Totolan Seekers and things. So, excuse me. Do apologise. But yes, Legion glyphs are the ones to go for, I hear. Excuse me. Extension for the rep buff. Need to break from World Quests. Yeah, I would love an extension. That would be really nice, certainly. Right, let's make this. Glyph selling at the moment with a lot of people making new tunes. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. The glyph market is something I'd like to expand into a little bit more. Sayu817, thank you for the follow. We're just going to make these war scrolls for the moment. That is one of the things I really need to look into. Looks like we might have got stuck here, so I'll do a /reload. That sometimes fixes that issue. Made some Mekdal's Big Mech on Illidan. Someone reset the markets to 15 per unit about 2k ago. Current price, what is it? 790. Do you wait to repost, or is there another once there is another market reset? You could look at what it would take to reset it yourself. Have a look at the prices on the Undermine journal and see whether that reset was unusually high, because it may not necessarily get reset to that value very often. So just keep looking at the graphs on Undermine journal, and you can get a picture of what the true value of them is. Back with the straw, all is normal. Yes, I did actually go back to the straw rather than the drinking bottle. We do have Oreo's with me in spirit behind, but he's so comfy and I can't really show him. But he is here with us. What's the crafting cost of my maroon pigments? My maroon pigments, let me have a look. Maroon ink, maroon pigment has a matte cost of 43 gold for my maroon pigment. My maroon ink is the same effectively. I'm using Billis Onyxia's string for... No, I'm not using that for the maroon ink. I'm using the one we put in that... what did we do? It's similar, wasn't it? We checked this with Billis. Maroon pigment was coming out as the DB min buyout. The matte price of the Zinanthid times 100 divided by 61 was the average there, but 0.6 basically of the matte price of Zinanthid was the figure we came out with in the end for that. Underground is going to be a good resource. Anybody found any accuracies with the data? It's the same. It's using the same data as you have with the Blizzard API. It's taking the same thing as TSM. It's using the Blizzard API to get the data, so it's as accurate as it's going to be, really, direct from Blizzard. Groups. Let me just check my uncanny selling. Got everything in there at the moment, that's fine. I've got a lot of things I need to sort out here on this character. We won't do that at the moment. My Crimson is coming through the string from Billis, which is using a combination of the price of all the herbs. I don't have a link to it myself at the moment, but it is on a Reddit post from about a year ago. If you look up inscription pricing on Reddit, I think should get it up. Thank you, Edwards, for stopping by. Lovely to have you here. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Did I buy my Dire Bee glyph recipe, or lucky to get it from looting? Have yet to get that one. I didn't even spot that. Hold on one moment. We just saw something about Dire Bees, didn't we? Hold on. Where's my Dire Bee glyph? Hold on. I didn't even spot that. I can't see one here. Offhands, trinkets, books and scrolls. No, have I? Maybe it was in my unlearned. Hold on. Glyph of dire bees. Yes, that was in my unlearned here. There's 2 auctions of them. Use your dire bee ability to call on bees. Dire bees for hunters. So, oh, that's the actual price of the glyph. That's not of the actual. It's from Fresh Jelly Deposit. Ah, okay. Okay, must be in my unlearned. Did I actually have that in my bags for some reason though? I don't think I did I? I must have accidentally clicked on that. Unless I can see anything here. Got Contract Storm's Wake. Don't see anything in my bags. Yeah, no, it looks like it was in my unlearned. It got me all excited there. Thought I'd picked up something I hadn't realised I'd picked up. Reminds me to farm the bee mount someday. Yeah, there's so many things to do. So many things and not enough time. Yeah, getting the farming the bee jelly would be well worth it. I need to look up what I need to do for all my glyphs. Farm the bee mount now with the rep buff. I know there's so much to do with the rep buff and so much to do with the leveling buff. It's really hard to make sure you can try and do as much as you can with your time, because I need to do things with my emissaries here on Samadan, because he really needs a decent amount of things up to honoured and revered, certainly. So little time. Exactly. Let's carry on with my characters. Let's check on the gold on everyone first, because we still haven't done leatherworking or blacksmithing yet. So let's check in on them. I need him to do dungeon tunes, so this is a big slacker. Delicious. B rep isn't increased with the rep buff. Oh, is it not, Wave? Okay. Sometimes I think you need to clone to put all professions on point. I mean, that is my current focus at the moment. So I'm not quite there. I need another character at 120 so I can do jewel crafting and engineering. Currently looking at leatherworking. Not a huge amount of sales this week. Or actually, there could be some stuff in the back end of this. Oh, I think I might have some Tide Spray braces in here. Yeah, we do have a whole load of Tide Spray braces to deal with. We do have some sales though, actually 23,000. So that's not too bad. But I've got a whole load of Tide Spray braces left to process. So that's going to be interesting. We'll deal with that at the moment. The rep buff applies to BFA reputations, and the B rep is increased with development power. Okay, thank you, Rasheen, for the clarification. You need friendship to get the B mount. Exalted before you earn the mount. Let the rep buff be. Alright, let's move over here and bring up my Brutosaur. And then we'll just post this lot on first. So we're currently sitting at 203,000 on this character. I think the trinkets are slowing for now. For inscription, is that? Yeah, it could be. I guess once people have an easy way of getting hold of it, trinkets that are at a decent item level, they're not likely to get the other ones. Buy these ones off the market, certainly. Alright, let's go through, post all this uncanny gear on, get all of this done and sorted, and then hopefully we can generate some more sales. So before I can craft much more of this, I need a whole load more expulsive on this character and on my blacksmith. So I'm going to be busy with that probably next week. Let's take the expires first. In terms of sales, we do have some Drums of Fury. Haven't sold those in a while actually. Dredged Leather Bladder, and Uncanny Combatants, Arm Guards, Waist Guard and Gauntlets, Coarse Leather Arm Guards of the Peerless, Uncanny Mail Leggings there, and then some more Dredged Leather Bladders. So I'll take that 23,000. That takes me up to 225,000. I'll leave all this tie spray braces for processing later, and we'll post the rest of this on at the moment. There we go. How can I automatically post these things so fast? It's basically using the scroll wheel macro that comes with TSM. So basically, rather than clicking post each time, I'm literally holding control down and scrolling my mouse wheel up and down, and it's going post next, post next, post next. So that's how it works. In the TSM settings, under here, under macros, the configuration scroll wheel, I've got up and down and assigned to the control key, and it's going to do cancels, buyouts, craft next, destroy and post there. So that's how that works for me. I'll leave all of that on there. I don't think I've got the... what have I got here? I don't have the expulsion to be able to craft anything more, so I'll leave it at that for the moment, I think. Unless there's actually some other things I could probably add in there, like those bladders maybe. Let's have a quick look. Restock. Drums of Fury, probably need some raw beast hide for that. Don't have the bladders here at the moment as well, actually. You stumbled on a duplicate bug this week, got super scared. It'll get me banned for accidentally discovering it. Showed you the crafting macro that accidentally allowed it, and we both reported it, so hopefully it will be fixed soon. Excellent, thank you for doing the proper thing on that one, Drifting Rose, definitely. And scrap also, yeah, definitely. Do I wait for my actions to expire, or let the auction post sit their duration, even if people posted after you at the same price? I usually, on my server, do the occasional cancel scan, but I will normally just let them expire, to be honest. Based on my custom price of Veil Crystals, what price would you buy them on the auction house? If they were coming up to sort of, coming close to my custom price, then I'd consider buying them, definitely. Turns that item, put/click, easy scrap. Okay, that's for the scrapping as well on the macro. Yes, thank you for that one, Silent Mouse. I forgot I had that one on. Raw beast hide could probably do with having a look at here, but we do need some expulsum. We're missing a lot of stuff here. Let's make a couple of these whilst we're here, and we'll make a few drums of fury whilst I'm here at the moment. How can you make that macro but with a key, like for example the dash on the numpad? So once you've made the macro in TSM, you can probably copy and paste it, because all it is, let me just stop this for a moment. When you go into your macros, my TSM macro is here, so it's click TSM cancel auction button, click TSM destroy button, and then you can just change its assignment and put it to a keypad or something like that, and that should work for you. I think that's the one it uses. Right, let's make at least some drums of fury whilst I've got enough raw beast hide. I'll have a look at the price of raw beast hide in a moment. Doesn't look like I can make any there at the moment. Let's have a look whilst I'm here then. Raw beast hide, shopping, drums, shopping. Raw beast hide is currently at $4.99. That's not bad when it comes to a price. Then it jumps up to 10 gold. So my normal price is $6.99. So I'll take all 23 of those for the moment. Just drag the macro icon. Yeah, just drag it into for a key bind, can't you? And then do that. Thank you for... That's what I meant, but not what I said in words. Thank you, Darkwing. I need to catch scan on Shadow Song either. One of the great things about mid-pop server, yeah, I find it's the right kind of server for me, certainly. So finding to see quantity of items on Shadow Song. Yeah, there's hardly any. I mean, look at this. There's hardly anything here. So there's definitely plenty of niches on this server. Let's take those purchases. And then let's go here. And then see if we can make any more drums of fury whilst we've got some. Currently leveling a new druid on a high pop to farm your mats for other toons. That's not bad. I mean, it's a good way to make use of your time is to get your own. Drums of Fury seem to be sticking at the moment, so let's see if I can make some here under the standard interface. That should be easier. There we go, we'll let that run through. So we'll make all of these drums. I won't do the expulsum now. I'll wait until during the week and I can do that on and off screen. TSM interface for crafting lacks the unlearned window. I thought they had it at one point. Filters... No, they don't have the unlearned, do they? At one point they did, I thought. But obviously no, they don't have them here at the moment. Maybe that's something for TSM 4.1 when that comes out. I tend to swap quite often between the standard interface, TSM interface, and the TSM interface and the standard interface, because there's quite a few things I like to have in the standard one. I like to use all the favourites here, and crafting straight from the bank is more accurate this way as well. Question, through crafting on an average day, how much money do I find myself making? I'm focusing on mat gathering and looking to get into the crafting side. I would say my average, daily average, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at TSM. It's probably going to give me a better clue. So for the past year, all characters and guilds, which is pretty much mainly crafting, average earned per day is telling me 39,000 on according to TSM. But that seems... Oh, that's earned, that's sales, that's not profit. Profit is 13,000 a day. That would be more indicative, I would say. Yeah, just under 14,000. Any idea about the internal auction error when using TSM? It's something to do with Blizzard side, I believe. There is a special section in the WoW Economy Discord where people report that. I don't know specifically when or whether it will get fixed, but TSM at least can, when you're posting things and you get that error, it will repost them. Any word on TSM 4.0? It's been coming for a while. I have no idea. I'm not in direct contact with the TSM team other than through Gumdrops, so I don't know. Gumdrops will be the person to ask for that one, certainly. Theoric and Rearsank, thank you both for the follow. Your profit per day is 4.8. Your total profit is 4.8. Oh right, what, total completely? Average profit is $690. Still early days then, by the sounds of things. Try and buy items quicker and TSM updates itself. You will wait a couple of seconds between your buys and you won't get that error. Yeah, that's where it comes, isn't it, Metcat? Thank you. What am I looking to invest in for Shadowlands release? I'm probably not looking to invest in anything particular, but I will like to get my professions leveled up in Shadowlands as quickly as possible and as many as possible. And that's going to be what I will focus on, especially at the beginning of Shadowlands. Let's pop those on at the moment. Shall I go with the route of... Well, I know is that Sapu is currently working full-time on TSM. Yes, I heard that too as well, Darkwing. Route farming, then selling on auction house. Go with the route of finding your craft profit and buy its material, then sell the craft. Maybe diversify and do them both. Whichever is more fun for you, Pawnsy, definitely. Has been 250k from lots of mouse houses. That's a very nice sleeping cat. If you're trying to post something, it'll post for 9 silver rather than undercut someone by a copper. That's interesting. I'm not sure about that error, certainly. Sometimes it doesn't let you post stuff, or it posts stuff for 9 silver. 9 silver seems to be something to do with maybe TSM not having the market prices for things, perhaps? Has TSM synced up your server's prices through the app? Would be my first question. But yes, it shouldn't be undercutting at all, definitely, as the default setting. Let me run through that. I've done all of that, so let me just quickly jump out of this character and go into my blacksmith. invest in a second account. You don't really have to multi-box to play both at the same time, but right now you're playing 2 accounts. One is currently doing tie spray planets whilst you're doing freehold in the other. But, I mean, that's a good use of time, is splitting it between 2, certainly. There are a lot more gold makers around who will be doing the same. What's that with try undercutting to 0. Exactly, you don't need to undercut. So where are we at in blacksmithing? We only have 1 expulsum left, so we can't really make any more at this stage. So let's check the mail. We'll have to do a relist. Interested to see how blacksmithing has gotten on this week. So let's have a look. Let's take our expires first. There's a lot of expires here. Let that run through. Managed to sell some Arcanite bars and Potion of Slowfall. So this is some of my old alchemy that I was finally getting rid of. We'll be making an updated TSM guide come Shadowlands. Either then or before then, certainly, because a lot of the stuff in TSM has changed slightly since the new auction house came out and my understanding of various things. So I think a new TSM guide is definitely in order. When I manage to arrange the time and the moons are in alignment, then I'll be able to make one, certainly. Along with all the other hundreds of videos I'm trying to sort out at the moment. I just need to focus on getting the right ones out first. Mogcal, thank you very much for the follow. How often they post counter scan on gliders? That should be the question. The Shadowlands hits. I'll probably have lots of things to do other than gliders. Stocking and crafting goblin gliders. Aren't there going to be some Covenant specific gliders coming out as well? I thought I saw. I had the same problem. The key was to be patient. What was that for? Then you post about 200 of them across all your servers and they sold too low to make much profit. No problem. But you would wait and see, certainly. We don't know yet. I think it's still early days at the moment. So what do we have sales of here? We have some Wild Jade, Uncanny Combatants Plate Greaves of the Fire Flash for 12,000, a shield, Moral Harlan Stirrups, some boots, Deck Pounder and Shanker have all sold. And then back up at the top here we have Plate Gauntlets and Plate Arm Guards and some Arcanite bars. So that's 67,000 gold. That's really good. Much better than I was doing with my Pandaria alchemy. So Uncanny blacksmithing seems to be a worthwhile switch over at the moment. Let's go and post this lot back on. Let's just deal with that at the moment, and then I'll run a post scan on everything else I've got left. Stock up on them now since they are low price and flip them when Shadowlands goes out. Yeah, if you've got the bank space, keep hold of them. There's no harm in it. Look behind reading the Wowhead post. When it's mentioned to farm Bastion with treasure potions, does this mean 10 full clears or just the trash in the beginning? I'm not sure. With Bastion, I'm not. It's not my original post. The best thing to do is go into the Wowhead Reddit the Reddit post that one's quoted from, and then ask in there perhaps. Is a long-term investment. Some of the best investments do come out long-term, certainly. Yeah, the weapons are doing well so far. It's just the trash, is it? Okay. Thank you, Game Cat. Trash at the beginning of Bastion, because you kill any bosses, you'll be locked out and no more trash. Ah, right, I see, okay. And once you've killed a boss, you're locked into that instance. Okay, thank you. It's like 500 gold on your server. Is it really? I need to get some more rank 3s on this stuff, definitely. Studying my spreadsheet about the Bracelets Chapel. Watch my video about it. In the is it worth it area, it says yes. Does that mean you don't have to do step 2 and 3? I'm a bit confused. If it says it's worth it, then I would always encourage you to do step 2 and 3 as well anyway, because that is where you're likely to get your most sales, certainly. Tone with a Quiet Mind, many re-rolls at the beginning of Shadowlands. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. If that's still current, then definitely. I need to do lots of stuff, basically. Yeah, I need to get some more Marks of Honor. Some Battlegrounds would be useful. I missed out on the... what PvP Brawl have we got at the moment? Gravity Lapse begins then. That would be my next option, I guess, really. We've got Arathi Blizzards at the moment, which ends on the... Oh no, we're on the 10th already, so that's ended. We need to be here, and so the next one is Gravity Lapse. Okay, so we'll try that one. Even if now on your server enchants don't sell that much, then I would definitely be cautious about diving into the whole tie spray shuffle if it's not going to be that profitable for you on your server. I still sell quite a few on mine, so for me it's still worth it. So let's go through. Everything is posted on here. We're leaving the Tide Spray, obviously, for obvious reasons. And then I will go through, and I think that's all my characters I've looked at so far. Just want to have a quick look. Probably we've done Nadamas. I'm going to check my monk Feng Shu. I've been leveling up with my wife. Check on our gold. My wife has... she's got more gold than me at this stage. She's got well over 1,000, so I'm lagging behind. I've got about 900 gold on my character. Just basically trying to reset the odd market or just sell what we've collected in that time. So we're currently in, where are we? In Howling Fjord, which is really nice. I don't think I'd ever taken the boat in here and explored around here. It was very nice to see. So we've got no sales since I relisted earlier this afternoon, so we'll leave that as it is. We'll probably just have a look and then run a post scan on anything I've got left. Most of this has gone below min price, so I'm ignoring that for the moment. We'll let that run through. We do level really fast. We've got the recruiter friend bonus going through, so that does help. And I'm literally just posting everything on and selling it. And we're doing quite well. 993 gold on this character from basically just selling a whole load of stuff. This is all the stuff I have on the auction house. Various bits and pieces. About 3,700 in total value. But we'll see what that actually sells for. I'll just jump myself back in here, and we'll leave you parts there. I won't do a cancel scan or anything like that. We'll just leave you there. Silver Moon, another mega server like Draenor and Taramil. Prices are very bad, very low profits, but lots of very frequent sales. Yeah. Making my copy in French. If anyone's interested, have it too. Oh, excellent. Don't know how to make more gold without spending hours and hours just doing brace shuffle. A few days ago you spent 20,000 on tie spray. It took me like 2 hours to shuffle all of it, and then only made like 15,000 profit. So yes, if it's not going to be that profitable for you, you do have to factor in your time on things like this, certainly. So if the profit margins are a bit too slim, then maybe consider some other options. There's an add-on for disenchant to make it a little easier when you are disenchanting a lot of items. A lot of people tend to use macros for them, for the specific items that they're trying to disenchant. I use the TSM Destroy, and that works quite well for me. Did I manually add everything to groups? Still got a lot of ungrouped item stuff, and if you find ungrouped, do you quickly group them up somewhere? So with this character, Feng Shu, I literally just do, I've got a mass cell group, and if it isn't in there, I'll put it in there, and it's a very, very simple one. Molinary is a good add-on for Destroy. Thank you, Quillen, for sharing that one. According to this, we have basically just one group, mass cell, and then everything is in there except for a few extra things like the herbalist spade, skinning knife, and the borean leather scraps. I'll wait until I've collected a few of those, but everything else is in this list here. And then I basically will just literally post all of that lot on. Mass sell, yeah, it's basically the operation for this auctioning mass sell. So all I've done, I've only set it to 12 hours. I've set the post cap to 200, 100% 0, and then it's literally, the minimum price is the maximum between either 50% DB market or 150% vendor sell. So that's the minimum price. The maximum is the maximum between either 500% DB market or 150% vendor sell. So I just keep in the vendor sell there in as a fail safe, so I'm not going below my vendor sell. And then my normal price is DB market and 150%. I'll copy and paste that one in. So that's just basically, I'll just follow DB market for these things. So I'm not too concerned about these prices. I'm literally just throwing everything on at the market price and seeing if anything sticks. How do you make separate profiles for each toon? So in your TSM settings, you have different profiles here, and so basically whenever you're on the default profile or something like that, you can click duplicate, or you can get a new profile here and you can create a new one. I named mine based on all of my characters, and then I copy them from one to the other as well. I've got a few different old ones, and you can switch to different characters' profiles just as easily. Like I could go and have a look at Samadan's profile, and now I'll see all my groups and everything for Samadan, even though I'm on Feng Shui here. So for my own sanity, I tend to just keep them all with their own profiles and their own groups, because it works out best for me at the moment. I'm going to spend my last leatherworking mats on braces now and get inscription on her. Don't like how leatherworking has no daily craft when you can make 200 gold a day with inscription. Yeah, it's a tricky one really, isn't it? The daily crafts do really help out with some professions. Unfortunately, enchanting is the only way you've been successfully making gold in the last few months. Yeah, it all depends on the different servers, doesn't it? I didn't think you knew about TSM Destroy. Where is the option at? It's basically, it should automatically pop up. You type in /TSM Destroy if you have got anything to destroy. Obviously on this character I don't have anything because I'm just a herbalist and skinner. I think Jason Rose was talking about the wards daily one. So let's swap over to someone who does have a... let's go over to Samadan, as you've got one there. Magnificent Hide, yeah, that cooldown's definitely. If it doesn't work for purples, you have to change your filter in the settings. I'll go in and have a look at that in a moment. So with your /TSM Destroy, just check you've gone in your settings in the destroying setting here. You change your maximum disenchant quality to epic. Normally I think by default it's set to rare, so I've just changed mine to epic, and that factors in that. /TSM Destroy, I don't think I've got anything to destroy at the moment. If I were to make say a tie spray linen bracer, would be my typical thing here, and then type in /TSM Destroy. I've also got it assigned to a macro here, Control X, so that brings it up and down as well, which is quite handy. And then I can just use my scroll wheel macro to destroy that. Just as easy as that. Can also be ignored. Check that one as well. Yes, you've got the list of everything that is ignored will be down there on your list here under TSM Destroying. So all my ignored items are down here. So you'd have to click on those to remove those. I've got a few different bits and pieces that I've added over the time. For the mass sell, it's for all whatever items just to sell cheap, right? So why you've got the option at when below minimum don't sell, why not post at minimum price? The reason I have it at the moment to not post them is because I will then look at those items that it's not posting up, and I will consider whether I want to reset those markets. I did that with Frostweave cloth earlier. I saw it wasn't posting because it was at minimum price. I thought, okay, so that gives me a reason to look into that. And so I looked at the Frostweave cloth, saw that there were a few at really low price, so I bought those up and then posted them all back on at a more reasonable price. So it's just, I mean, sometimes like with my alchemy, I've got that post at minimum price anyway. So it all depends on the different characters and what I'm focusing on with that character. With Feng Shui, I'm focusing on, okay, what can I do to make gold with that character? So if something is below minimum price, I want to have a look at that market, learn a bit more about it, and decide whether I'm going to reset it or not. You got custom string from my Mega Shuffle for your Expulsum price. Yes. Uncanny Gear makes about 500 profit on your server. Okay, that's decent. I'll definitely go with that, certainly. Maybe a small video. That was for... Oh, for the controller. That's it. There we go. Okay. What did I miss out on everything? Just see if I can miss anything. Expand your market from now on. Leatherworking, blacksmithing, even engineering. Yeah, so diversity is key here, certainly. Speaking of diversity, I've kind of done all the gold making on all my characters for the moment. So a kind of decision what to do for my last hour here. I've got a number of options looking at my characters. In terms of progression, we can go deeper into one of my professions, like inscription, maybe the glyphs or something like that. We could look at expanding perhaps on, or we could see if we can get a Silas proc, do that first. We could see, I mean, there are the world quests and reputations, so I don't fancy doing those tonight. The other thing is leveling up another character for more professions. Last time on Thursday we've been going through, I know Feng Shui's my double gatherer at the moment, but I have liked the idea of Bridget, my hunter, being leveled up as well, so I might go on with that as well as an option. Do I have a custom string for Hexweave cloth? Now, I price my Hexweave cloth the same as the price I get my sumptuous fur for, because I worked out it's roughly the price of a sumptuous fur with the garrison as it is with maximum level. I get the same price as the sumptuous fur for one Hexweave cloth. So I tend to buy my sumptuous fur about sort of 1 or 2 gold. So my Hexweave cloth comes out at about that kind of price. Arthur Lane, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I have not done engineering yet. It's next on my list, engineering and jewel crafting. What did I miss there? Go Sierra, good evening to you. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? Hexweave cloth, your market. So yes, we've been going a couple of hours. Probably think about what we need to do next. I would say, I mean, it'd be, let's have a think. Battlegrounds, things like that. We've got quests and things. We've got world quests I could be doing. I don't want to be doing the Tide Spray Linen at this stage. I think let's do a little bit more of leveling on my my engineer, my soon-to-be engineer, I think, because I think we could probably get something going on there, and then we can do something more profession-wise with Feng Shui at a later date. But I'm thinking go on with Bridget, because a hunter is a really good character to have at a high level, especially when it comes into Shadowlands. I really enjoy the leveling experience with hunters, so we'll just use Azeroth Autopilot to run through this for a little while, see if we can get ourselves up to level 60 in flying, and then we can probably think about professions from that point. So let's just go through. Where are we at with, we were in Duskwood, okay, so that's not too bad. We can mount up for this. We currently have professions wise on this character, we have herbalism and mining, so this is literally just whilst I'm going through the leveling process. It's quite quick there. I had to farm honey on an alt with the quest already done on another character. Need to get the glyph from the honey farming. I'm not sure, Annette, how that works. Going the wrong direction, that doesn't help. You're right, thank you very much. That's good to hear, Ghost Sierra. Oops, I'm not watching where I'm going at the same time. Right, okay, let's go through the waypoint, then down this way. There we go, that's better. Not paying attention doesn't help. There we go, let's do a mining whilst we're here. Collect some things up. One fur makes one cloth, so the price of fur is pretty much the price of your hexweave. At least that's how I understood it. Yes, that's how I work it out. If you don't take advantage, you'll be fine. Yeah, Justin Rose told us about that earlier, Ghost Sierra. Interesting. I'm glad you both had a look at it and reported it, certainly. There is another way to get the hexweave cloth with the bind on the bop item. I like how that went through. Right, okay, we'll just do a few of these whilst we're running through. So the main thing is the default operation any good for certain items? It has a long command that you don't understand. Yes, to be honest, I do the same. I don't tend to use it myself for that reason. There's too many complicated extra bits in it. Bop is an emote. It looks like it is. So I tend to strip it down into things that I do understand and tailor it for my auctions. You make about 60 hexweave bags a week, farm about 26,000 sumptuous fur a week, and you value your fur at 1 gold each to make the spirit hexweave bags. In that case, the bags sell for 750 or higher, only use the buildings or daily craft, a lot better value. Then it's 7 gold per fur. All depends on if you have some spare time or not. Yeah, and you've got that down to a fine art, certainly. Just heading off this direction. There's those two that are fighting each other. Why are they fighting each other? Might as well take the two of them whilst we're here. We're heading in here, really. Let's try a multi-shot, I think. And then we can pick up the pile of scraps afterwards this. There we go. Collect up all of those. That's quickly enough. That's complete, and then we can head over this direction. I didn't see if there are any herbs or anything here, so let's just avoid this slot whilst we're here. And now we need to head in to do the spiders, it would seem. Wolves out here, dire wolves. Okay, I remember this one. This is further inside. We'll start with one of those and go through here at the moment. Okay. If you're just selling mats, what operation would I put out of interest? Just DB Market. I probably would just stick with DB Market with mats. Yeah. I think if I was to use... well, there's a horde character there, I think. I'll ignore them. Don't want to get myself into any combat. I would maybe use Region as well. Just as an average more than anything else. Looks like I've got my own little helper here. Horde is the good people. Definitely. I don't mind either. I would so much prefer to be faction agnostic at this stage of the game. I don't think it's necessary to have factions when there's so much potential to play with so many people. I wish that BFA went that route, certainly. Daily on 48 characters. Yeah, Visiting Rose has it off to a fine art form. Right, how many have I got? Wolves and Dusky Crab Cakes. Still need to do the spiders. So I'll keep this going at the moment. Got another wolf over here. Oh, there's a spider over there as well. I'll do that, and I'll do that one at the same time. I'll take 2 whilst we're here. There we go. Prices 1 hour and 9 minute cooldown. Go for about 600 on yours. So it'll be a profit, but not enough to make it into main gold income. Not necessarily. It depends on. I mean, it might be worth considering resetting the market on things. Wolves and cakes. We've got still need another load of wolves. I'm a bit behind here, so let's just come over here. There we go. Thank you, helper. So the game system's holding back at this point. The law was we're not at war anymore. Exactly. So my feeling is you might as well. You might as well be able to collect everyone up. Let's do that whilst we're here. There we go. So annoying as a Pandera. You want to have fun with everyone. Exactly, exactly. I wish they had done it that way. Right, 2 more wolves and some more spiders is what I need here. World of Nothingcraft. World of Peacecraft. World of gold making for us at the moment, it would seem. Would be more the case, certainly. Do that with 2 months baby Naz. Yeah, things are a lot harder when you've got a young one. And congratulations on having your child as well. That must be hard trying to juggle them both, certainly. Right, okay, one more dusky lump. I need to head over this way, I think. More spiders. Let's mount on up. I got a ore over here somewhere, or is it a herb? I can't quite see. Let's go up here. Wild steel bloom, we'll take that one. World of Brutosaurs. Oh, we need to go back this way. Let's head around here. Don't need to do the walls now. Dusky lumps. Okay, we're looking for spiders. For the dusky crab cakes. Let's have a look. Somewhere down here. We'll wait for them to respawn potentially. I go up slightly higher. There's some copper ore over here, it looks like. We'll take that whilst we're here. WoW definitely lost its priority since the baby. Also raid with your guild and progress mythic 3 times a week, so there isn't much left for gold making. Well, yeah, you've certainly got your hands full then. Right, where's... there's a spider. That's what we're looking for. Hopefully we want more dusky lump. There's another spider over there if we don't get it on this one. There's another one over here on our left. Nothing on that one, so let's take this one. And if it's not on that one, we'll take something on the next one. I'm watching you whilst making 1K braces. I know the feeling. It can take a while, certainly, with the bracer shuffle. You have my sympathy, certainly. Shadowy Mask Flick worked. Well, it took just 20 minutes from 1,000-ish to 6,000. Should have set a higher price. It has been known to sell for higher, certainly. So I'm glad you managed to get something out of it, certainly. There we go. And not quite enough spiders next, so we need to look around this area a little bit more. There's a spider in between these 2 wolves. If I can just aim myself between them. I'll probably get another spider whilst we're here. Just to increase a little bit, and then I'll double that one. When you hit 90, get a portal to Ashran, learn tailoring, and then the book. Sign the train effect. So we also make Secrets of Draenor Tome. Oh, that's for all the Draenor stuff. Okay, thank you, Rose. There we go. Priority is still on endgame progress, and goal making is just a side gig. Let's see what we got. There we go. Got a dusky lump. That's good. Let's mount up, and then we can head on back. and hand this lot in. Okay, that's good. If you can make a few hundreds a month, then you got your piece. Getting a long boy already. Yeah, I think that's wise words and good use of your priorities, certainly. Find your biggest peeve for trying to make gold is the lack of bag space. As you run raids, Mythic Plus, your bags are full of gear. You have to swap to empty bags within your bank to be able to mass make Expulsum. It's only mana, but I hate doing it. Yeah, I mean, bag space is the eternal issue, really, isn't it? Need to dip into my salsa. It makes my Doritos taste even better. You bought the pattern for 2.5k as well. That's a good price. Good price for that. Okay, let's hand in some of these quests.
Can I help you?
Let's take these. Did that
Farewell.
bug out? Let's try that again.
Well met. Safe
There we go,
travels.
that's better. Go inside. We'll go pick out this one at the back. And we got level 57. Let's head back outside. Now we go inside.
What can I do for you?
Then go back outside. There's so much different stuff going on here. Loads of different quests, which is really nice. Yeah, the only pattern that's left in the auction house on your server is at 6k. Wonder if you should flip it. It can go for quite a high amount as well. It could be worth it if there is a sudden demand for it. Then you might be able to capitalise it. It is hard to farm. It doesn't drop that frequently. So your only competition is going to be either someone with a lot of time on their hands, or someone who can who's already got a stock of them perhaps and hasn't put them on the auction house yet. Find leveling so relaxing. It's like farming old world mats. Yeah, it's really nice. I do love the leveling process. I think they've got the XP gain spot on here. It just flies past, which is just really nice. From a casual gold making point of view, where I'm not too concerned at this stage, but I like just sort of skipping through everything and enjoying the leveling process. Why do I have Hexweed bags? I don't know the deep sea trick, but this character had Hexweed bags from a long time ago. And I never really... this was way back. I think Samadan made these. Oh no, I actually bought these. I bought these a long time ago, I think. And I must have just stuck with them. It was before Deep Sea, certainly, when I had this. We're talking about the Shadowy mask pattern. Bought it, let's gamble. Right, okay, so next cluster is just down here, so we can mount up and head over that way. We're already halfway through this level, so it goes through so quickly in Duskwood. And the Shadowy masks themselves, we sold one earlier today for about 4,000. Oh, that was a herb there. We can't miss a herb if we walk straight past it. Can't see the wood for the trees at the moment though, so we'll just have to quickly change my camera angle. And we get XP from that as well, which is always nice. And what have we got? We've got some things to kill in here, it would look like. Rotting horrors, probably take a few of these out at the same time. Each of those. Need to get 8 of them anyway. And you sold one now for 6k gold, 5k profit. Very nice. Then there's a good chance it's made by someone with the name Softport or Sarah in the name. Most likely. What do you do with the green items of freehold runs? Vendor, disenchant, or transmog? I imagine with so many people doing freehold runs, the markets for those particular things will be probably slightly saturated. So I would suggest either vendoring them or disenchanting them. There was something else around there. That was a herb. What's that? Major oil. We'll take that. Take that, then we'll pick up that. So more rotting horrors. Just 4 of 8 here. Should be easy enough. Very unimaginative when you made your monk. Oh, if it fits, then there's no need to change it. My name for Samadan comes from back when I played EverQuest, and it was the default name that was given to me that I liked the sound of it, so I went with that. I just missed out on that one. Let's try and get this rotting horror instead. What realm do I play on? I play on Shadowsong EU. Old world enchants like glorious stats for new tunes. People are making, yes, the old world enchants. The good thing about old world enchanting, there's a whole load of stuff you can make. I did a deep dive video on enchanting on my my YouTube channel that goes through all the different things that I make with enchanting. There's a good mix of leveling stuff in there. Enchanting and tailoring are really good for that. So I think we could probably just do... You have to come from inside, I believe. There you are. Insane Ghoul. Start with you. Mary's Looking Glass. You don't know what to price the pattern at. Try something ridiculously high, Silent Mouse, like 200,000 gold. You never know. You might get a sale at that high. Okay, what else have we got here? We need... Oh, there's a... Is it worth me getting this? Where's the grave moss? Herbalism-wise. Yes, it is. I would say from looking at that. Let's see if we can find some more. There should be some... There's some around the side here. We'll do this one. Some bruiseweed, we'll pick that up. What else have we got here? We've got a tin vein as well. Let's just zoom in a little bit, I can't quite see everything. There's a skeleton mage behind here, so we'll have to deal with these two whilst we're here, collecting our herbs. But that's okay. Extra XP. I just use my name because she is me anyway, so it's going to be your new maid. Exactly. It makes perfect sense, Drizzling Rose, when you put it like that. From a family of healers and caretakers. That sounds fantastic. Where is this tin ore? It's hiding in these trees. It's so hard to see sometimes. There it is. Right up in there. That's really hard. There we go. Okay, so if I can see where I'm headed, which is straight into a tree trunk, not quite where I wanted to be headed, let's go around this way and ignore a lot of this, and we can head back outside this way. Nice to get some ore and herbs whilst I'm doing this. Keep a little eye out on my mini-map. There's something over here on the right. I did manage to pick up a few extra things though, some Nightbanes. So I'll do those whilst we're here. I don't think I need to do these. These are Shadow Weavers I will need. So I'll just take these out at the moment and then we'll work on the rest after this. Is it worth crafting the leatherworking tool in the process of making gold? Do you mean the tools of the trade? I've not used the leatherworking one, certainly. Right, I need to head over this way. I've got an ore straight up as well. So we can take that out whilst we're here. How are we doing for gold on this character? 2,700 gold. And with that we got to level 58 as well. So ideally, if we can get to 60 quite quickly, then we can head over to Northrend rapidly after this one. Not getting excited yet, but it looks like 1.5k profit per masker. Might add that to your daily crafts. If you can get some good sales, then it's definitely worthwhile. Definitely worthwhile. Let's mend my pet, because that's looking a little unhealthy there at the moment. And that's the Shadowy that's slain. We do need to go inside here though. Let's take the herb first and then we'll go inside. Oh, the Nightbane Stalker just caught me. Getting lots of cloth and various bits and pieces here as well, which is always going to be nice as a little bit of extra gold. If we can post them in these markets, we need to do this, open that, torn journal, back outside, and now there's some more things here, so let's take the Shadow Weaver whilst we head towards either herb. There's a herb over there, there's probably some ore over there as well. So we'll look out for more mobs. The ore's up at the top there, probably not worth getting hold of. Do these instead. Thought we wouldn't dismount when mining if you use the Sky Golem. I think it's only when herbalism when using the Sky Golem. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. I meant to hit that thing. There we go, we'll do that at the same time. There we go. Do I believe Expulsum and similar crafting things should be at least bind on account? I think that would be a good idea. But if you're going to go that far, I would rather it be something that's tradable and not be bind on pickup at all. I would love to be able to buy Expulsum off the auction house. I think it will just add another dimension for those that want to do the Bracelet shuffle. They can, but you don't have to if you just want to buy it. So it's a whole change of sort of time, money kind of thing. I missed that one whilst going for that. Time for a little glass of the Macallan. Hope you enjoy. Cheers to you, Silent Mouse. I used to be a whiskey drinker, but not for a long while. Bind on account you can send to other servers though, which is kind of it. Oh yeah, being bind on account could give you that that advantage. I hadn't thought of that one. Was Obliterum not? Was Obliterum? Could you buy that originally, Will? How did that work out in Legion? I don't remember that. There's an option in TSM to change the crafting price. Oops, hit something here. How would an approach be to determine the Bracelet shuffle is profitable? You can change the default crafting method on something in TSM. Let me think. Where is it in? When you're setting up a group for something, I believe. I don't know if I've got something that would work here. If I was to set up a new group with a new operation, is it the crafting operation? Then you override the default craft value method here, and then you could put in something there. I think that might get you something towards what you're thinking about. Or as Metket was saying, you can change the material price, but when you do change the material price of something, it changes for all your profiles, not just that one profile. So you do have to be careful about changing for something that you might use elsewhere. Make a bit of alchemy. I don't find any good use for Expulsum on your alchemist. Try to sell items, start the item level ones. Oh, got a shadow there that's just done. Need another 2 Shadow Weavers. Actually wanted that one instead. And then there's another one over there which I might as well pick up now. And get the 2 whilst I... Oops, I've got an extra one. Spam that one. Thomas, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. I wonder if I ever looked at the professions in Final Fantasy. No, I haven't. I've never played Final Fantasy. How does it work out with those? They're supposed to be quite in-depth, so it could be right up my alley. I've been thinking about looking into a while, waiting for Shadowlands. I would do, but there's so much to do in BFA at the moment. I just literally wouldn't have time for another MMO at the moment. Can't somehow make your inscription dependent on tailoring. I wonder how... you would do that. There's not an immediate thing I can think of, Go Sierra, how you would set that up. Where am I headed? Down here. To pick up some quests, it would seem. Aha, these ones. I remember now. What's that? You can change every material price. Yeah, so that was what we were talking about. Like somehow make your inscription dependent on tailoring. So you could factor in the crafting cost of an item in your material cost, perhaps. So you could take your, I don't know, say for example your inscription ink based on the price of say 6 Expulsum or something like that, which was based off of tie spray linen. That's not a very good example, but I'm trying to think of something where you can use like the Mr. Pandaria Motes of Harmony being based off the price of Spirits of Harmony, things like that. You can tie in together using the sort of like the price of one item versus to dictate the price of another. I've certainly done that with a few special cases. But with your particular example, I'm not sure how I'd set it up. Right, what do we need to do? Use flight path. Do we need to pick anything up here? Where are you heading me to? Stranglethorn Vale. Was it really worth heading down to Stranglethorn Vale rather than going into Duskwood, I wonder? I guess flying all the way back, hand in all of these, that would have been quicker. Have a look coming week. Perhaps you find something in the documentation. It would be interesting. No problem, Go Sierra. Look forward to hearing what you find out about it, though, certainly. Now, I was hoping to get level 60 before the end of the stream, so we've got 20 minutes to get almost 2 levels. Do you think that's doable? I think it probably is with the amount of quests I'm about to hand in. Let's go have a look. That would be a good target to go for. I'll go this way. At the rate the XP is going, and the fact that I've got heirlooms on, we should be fine. Oh, we've got some horde in here as well. There was me just trying to do my quests with war mode on. Slightly less doable when you've got a whole load of horde in here. Okay, that might be slightly harder. Yeah, it looks like we've got a lot of poor people not able to hand in their quests. Okay. 63, then up to Borean Tundra is what you do. Do you go... Okay, do you not go straight at 60, I wonder? Because that's what I was thinking of doing. Right, I'm sure I got killed in here. Let's go a little bit closer. No, everyone's getting killed, so I don't really want to be in here. Where was my... Oh, it was a different building. Okay. So let's move over here. And do we have a hand in here? Let's resurrect here. Madame.
You need some?
We'll do you. Then we need to try and get outside. Hopefully. Nope. There's someone in there. Okay, let's leg it whilst we can. Oh no. There's someone in there. And one shot dead. Okay. Not so easy. Not so easy trying to hand in quests with war mode on. You do 63 to 75 from Boring by itself with all the quests there. That's why you tend to try to get to 63 first. Ah, right, okay. Right, I want to be near a quest hand in here. So if I can do this in one go. If you can get rested, I can turn war mode off. Do I not have to be in... I guess I could go that way. That could be easy enough. Where is the inn here? The inn's just over here. So I could just about resurrect in there, maybe. Let's have a look. Let's run inside. And then let's turn war mode off. See if we can do that. I didn't realise you could turn it off in this. Talents. There we go. War mode off. Easy way to do that. Blight Gas, thank you very much for the follow. It's just to turn it on. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, as there's so many people in there, I think it's easier. I know I won't get the bonus for this, but I think in terms of just trying to hand quests in, it would be a lot easier just to run through this at the moment. To turn it on, you need a flight point or rest. To turn it off, you just need a flight point or rest. I didn't realise it was that easy. Okay, let's go through, hand these in.
How are you? Have a good one.
And then we can head on back here, and then oh, that looked like that had bugged out a little bit. And we can go and do that one. And then I can always put war mode on. Where am I set to? The trade district, so we can always do that a little bit later. We've got ourselves nearly up to 59, so we should hopefully be able to get ourselves up to 60. Yeah, there's not. I think I'm all for PvP really, but when you're deliberately just going out and one-shotting other players, I can see how the fun would very quickly go sour. So I like the fact that there's an alternative, and just turn war mode off. As we were talking about earlier, I would love that the faction was the same. You could just turn factions off. That would be really good. I would have leveled with a 25%. Yes, I probably would have done Silent Mouse, I reckon. So the XP bonus is until Shadow pre-patch. When does the reputation buff expire? Currently it expires, I believe it's the 20th of May. So hand this one in. The 18th of May, there we go, thank you. It started on the 20th, then expired on the 18th, that's it. Then we can go back out here. And now we need to go, okay, we need to do hollowed more questing. Now if we can do that quickly enough, we should be okay. I need to call my pet, don't I? Have we got my wolf? There we go. Come on, wolf. You've been with me since, probably since vanilla. So I've never changed my pet ever. And at this point, after all expansions, they should just get rid of faction altogether. I would like to see it that way, certainly. Yeah, one shot is just not cricket. Okay, so what have we got? We need to kill a few of these skeletal warriors, it would seem. Let's take a few of these whilst we're here. Skeletal mages. I'm just going to tag a few of them at the moment, because we seem to be getting a lot of kills at the moment. And then we'll take all of these out in one go. There we are. And then those are all done. Then skeletal warriors over here. We'll do that one. Would love to play your Makar Orc on Alliance. I just play it no matter what faction. I think that's why you love Pandaren so much. They can be both. I mean, I like the way they did it in EverQuest, in the sense that you could play any character you wanted. That was fine. But certain characters would be kill on sight to guards in certain cities. So you could always have it so that the guards themselves and everything in Stormwind were prejudiced against orcs and would attack them. But the players themselves could decide to team up. You just couldn't go into each other's home cities or something like that. I mean, I think that would be a good solution to it. I need to go pick up this Rot Blossom. I've not been collecting that. Let's do that. I like this idea of Covenants, to be honest, refreshing from them. Also overdone Horde versus Alliance. Yeah, the Covenants are a nice mix, definitely. I think something like that would be good. I mean, we had that kind of in Legion, when you went to your class order hall and everything was based around your own class. So you'd have Horde and Alliance priests all together, and you're all working together as priests, and that works really, really well, having like Alonce's Fowl teaching me things in Legion. That worked, and that wasn't a problem. Okay, now we need to do the... Oh, we need to do these. Okay, let's take a few of these. Tag a few. Tag that one. And tag that one. Then we can bring them all together. There we go. See if I can take that one out as well. I need to actually go inside here. I should be doing this inside because there's a load of stuff we need to deal with here. Let's do that first. While the wind's really picking up now, I can hear that outside. Bright cloak we just picked up. That's cool. Okay, let's go inside. Do this first. The tainted ones. I need to deal with those. Okay, they're slightly different actually, the Valfangs and the tainted ones. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, back from the EQ days. Already talked with Pandaren and for the other factions all the times. So far, Pandaren and Void Elves and Blood Elves can do it too. Is May typically bad weather in the UK? It's not normally, no. Normally we have absolutely glorious weather, April, May. But at the moment we're definitely getting some really sort of strong cold winds. Thankfully my fence is all fixed, so that's all alright. Alright, we need to go and pick up something here, it would seem. Muddy journal pages. And then some more Valfangs. Oh, there's some ore here. We'll do that whilst we're here. Some tin vein. Tin doesn't tend to sell that. Actually, no, tin's okay when it comes to selling. I've sold a bit of that already. The wind is sounding pretty epic out there. You love a storm. Yeah, it's definitely picking up tonight. Need some Valfangs, so I'll take one. Tainted ones we still need. They're fighting each other, so we might as well join in a few. It's funny seeing a Worgen coming in. There we go. Right, okay, more to go. One more there. How are we doing for XP? Only just in there. We need to really hand in a lot of these quests before we get anything out of this. So let's... Where else do we need to do? One more... No, 3 more tainted ones. So they're going to be inside, if anything. So we need to go back inside, do another run through this. Is it tornado season, LA? Wow, okay. I was quite scared of the wind. Oh, bless. There's one there. I need to probably pick another one, if I can, if it respawns. That's 6, another 2. I can take the one on the way outside. There's another one just outside as well. I'll take that. That should be enough. That's 8 of 8. And then we're back to hand in central. If we don't get another one to aggro. There we go. Had a gnome necromancer in WoW. There was a bug that would cause the guards to kill you when you logged in, even though you were no longer kill on sight. Excellent. Hold on. Just missing this. Hold on. That wasn't quite quick enough. I have to clear myself out of here and then I can mount up. Gonna hop into bed. Look at the last 10 minutes stream. Thank you very much, Jason Rose. Lovely to have you here. Hope to see you again soon on Tuesday, perhaps. I'll be streaming for another 8 minutes. Derpalicious. Just watching some of the VOD from the wrap up. You missed the release date. Do we know if it's end of year? They have said it is Q4 2010. I was going to say 2004 for a minute then, but I mean 2010. So it's going to be October, November or December. Yeah, so that's all we know at the moment. That's from the Blizzard accounting. 2020. Yeah, I'm 10 years out. I do apologise. Spreading misinformation. Right. Halfway through XP wise. It's a shame I just can't put on the war mode. Got 2 more to hand in here. Let's see if we can sort that out. Thank you, Mushy. We're getting close. Can we get to 60 by the end of the stream? Crossbow. Well, crossbow definitely, because it sells for more.
Have a good one.
Do that. Legend of Stalvan, and then okay, we need to go inside. That's a nice quest on itself, especially when it was in classic. That was good fun. Yay! There we did it. Level 60. Fantastic. And we're in the inn as well. That's brilliant. That's exactly where I wanted to be. So in terms of getting everything sorted, we might as well hand in that last quest actually. Finish that one off. Then we can go and get flying, which will make for a much faster process. Right, what have we got here? Summons a flock of crows to attack your target. Barbed shot increases your critical strike chance, or venomous bite, which is good here for a Beastmaster Hunter. Does anyone else have a... Okay, Darkwing, thank you very much, Stuff Mine. Venomous is the one to go for. You do crows, murder of crows. So we've got what, venomous or crows? Crows. At low levels, do crows. Crows is your favourite. Okay, we'll go for crows. A murder of crows. Let's add that in. Hopefully, yeah, Hekili's got it in my rotation quite early on. So I'm going to drop this down here. I don't need 2 of those, do I? Probably just get rid of one of those. There we go. We can have it on our 0. That should be easy enough to press. Yeah. There we go. Thrill of the hunt later on. Okay. It's been a while since you've leveled. So I could pick that quest up. Like Will was suggesting, maybe to go to 63. But I'm quite keen to get to Northrend. So I'm going to hand in this one. For the Mismantle one. And then we'll... Oh, then we need to do this, and then we need to hand that in, and then we get the whole stitches appear, don't we? I've ever thought of getting more keybinds for my characters that are more reachable. Yes, Wave, I have a terrible setup when it comes to doing more and more characters. When it comes to more and more keys. If I can do it within 4 keys, then I'm happy, definitely. I've got a lot more I need to deal with. I might as well pick up these quests whilst I'm here. Let Azeroth Autopilot do the things. Also want the 2 pet talent on the first row. It used to be bug, it's fixed now. Talents. And call a pet additionally summons the first pet from your stable. This pet will obey your kill command but cannot... Is it this one? Also want the 2 pet talent. Oh, it's very kind of you to offer, Wave. Cast modifier macros. That could be interesting. Your core pet additionally summons the first pet from your stable. This pet will obey your kill command but cannot use pet family abilities. Is that better than Dire Beast? Because I quite like Dire Beast at the moment. Let's have a look. That gets rid of my Dire Beast. I could probably then put a Murder of Crows in there, like that. We could try that. Don't mind giving it a go. Okay, so we've got all the other bits and pieces to do here. We can probably do that a later stage, I think. I'll probably leave it at that for Bridget, I think, as we're finishing. Yes, in your opinion, so basically you can write /macro, which opens up your macro window. Oh, okay. Your main is BM hunter though, so heroic into mythic raids. Okay, thank you. Basic example would be show tooltip, cast non-mod ability, cast mod shift ability 2. Okay, so using like shift and 1, 2, 3, 4 would work as well there. I don't have a pet in my stables, no. That would be the other option, really. I literally just have this wolf. I've had this wolf since vanilla. In fact, I'll show you how old this character is just before the end of the stream. I'm going to Hearthstone back. Just go out and get one. Let's have a look. Need to tame some spirit beasts. I like wolf though, that's the thing. Let's go have a look. So this is how old Bridget is. Let's go visit my bank from back in the day.
Hello.
So we still have in my bank solid shot. I have 2,000 solid shot. The ammo. That's how old this character is. I got no idea what to do with it. I tried selling it once. It never really worked. That has a lot of dust on it, definitely. All that ammo. I've got no idea what to do with it. I just keep it there for... maybe we'll go back to that in Shadowlands. Yes, along with feeding our pets as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to keep that, certainly. Keep it as a souvenir for later. Wolfie, I choose you. Exactly. You have a level 15 hunter with 2 melee weapons equipped. Yeah, keep it as a token of pastimes. Unless they go for 1 million or something like that, maybe. But yeah, it's a lot of fun playing a hunter.
Safe travel.
Lots of happy memories. I never really played her that much. I obviously mained Sam more than anything else. Exactly. Who's in the first slot in my stables? Where do I find a stables? Would be my first question. Because if I go here, call pet, it's literally just got call wolf. So that's about as far as I've got. So I don't think I've got anything else. Your rogue still has a few stacks of poisons. Thank you. I can hear the bell chiming in the background as well. Yeah, so that's about as far as I've got there. I just wonders whether Cookie was going to come in there, but she's hiding in the background. I'm going to finish up there because that is my time. Thank you all for such an amazing stream. I've loved having your company tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. Near the Flight Master, but ask a guard to be sure. Yeah, I'll go and have a look at there. Thank you all. Let's have a look, see if we can throw a host on over to anyone who is on tonight. We have Lazy Goldmaker is on. Not doing Camel Mike whilst he's doing that. He's doing a speed run. Okay, so let's carry on to Arnota is on. We could do that. Let's do Arnota, I think. So let's just minimize that and have that on. Okay. Yeah, I was going to do Lazy Goldmaker, but Lazy Goldmaker says no camel mic during the speed run, during the Blackwing Lair speed run. So I'll keep it current with Arnota and gold making for the moment. So we'll do a raid to Arnota, send over some love, Arnota 42. Okay, so till next time. So my next stream will probably be on Tuesday, the next Sunday, Sunday number 2. Until then, have a lovely rest of your weekend. Have a lovely Mother's Day if you are celebrating it in your country, if you haven't already. And I will see you then. We'll send some love over to Arnota. So until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you soon.